try this then. Set number 30? How do we get this far? Man, this is something else. Is it kind of weird that the TCG has managed to somehow now have exactly, you know, every fourth set is the one for the Worlds format? I didn't actually realize that until now, but we've got 2 sets left before we hit Worlds 07, and it's every 4 sets from there. It's bizarre. Anyway, that's not really going through what we have here. Set number 30 is Dragon Frontiers, our final set of our Delta species stuff, unfortunately. I really liked looking at the different type things here. You know, like for Alligator, it's a lightning type, Heracross is a fire. It's like, it's just kind of cool. Unfortunately, we just never get this again. It does lead to some very strange things, though, like a Dart type being weak to Psychic, and, you know, this thing just existing. But hey, it is how it goes, right? I don't know exactly how much of this we're going to see. I'm going to hope to try and go through at least a little bit more of this one than what we had last time. I do also see some potential frame drops here because, yeah, spoilers for the YouTube side of things. Pepper decided to load like 300 cards I didn't have in my cache or something before, so we've had a lot of issues that way, and it doesn't look like it's entirely resolved on my end, but hopefully it will be stable enough and we can actually get through this. So yeah, there's a few of these things that weren't pulled like at all. Of course, mostly on the EX front. Tyranitar I don't think was pulled whatsoever. The Salamence was, but nobody seems to want to play it because they don't think it's good. I think it's fine, but the people who have it seem to think it's trash, so whatever. I don't think the Kingdra was pulled at all. So that's a bit of a shame because this gives some good reduction damage to like your stage 2 EXs and whatnot. The Flygon was pulled exactly once, we might see that, but Rosgon was supposedly really hard to play, so there is that. There's a couple of Dragonites going around. People have been a bit awkward about trading those naturally. The Gardevoir is slightly around, but again, there's like 2 copies and they're on different people, and we haven't exactly had an agreement as to how we're going to get that yet. Latias was from exactly 1 person. I have no idea if it's even going to see play, but I would have played it. I think it's cool. Rayquaza, again, exactly 1 copy of it, but this card is really strong, so we might well see that anyway. Nobody pulled the Mewstar, which is a shame. I pulled the Charizard, and I was like, God damn it, this is a very expensive card, but not a very good one, so, you know, unfortunate there. And then otherwise, like, mostly the thing with this set is that the scans are absolutely god-awful for so many of the, especially the trainer cards are really, really bad here. Like, just so yellowed out. I don't know how that ended up happening, but whatever. There's only a couple of notable trainers to even go through. Holon Legacy maybe could see play. Any Holon Pokemon in play has no weakness and can't use any Poké Powers. There's maybe a few decks that could potentially use that, whether it's to anti-Holon stuff or in Holon decks themselves that rely on bodies instead of powers, maybe. Island Hermit is an interesting one. You flip 2 of your face-down prizes face-up and then draw 2 cards as well. Decent effect if you need cards out of the prizes specifically. Draw 2 is of course very weak, but you could still use it anyway. That's honestly it as far as like new stuff goes. Things like Old Rod actually is a reprint from all the way back in Neo Revelation. But yeah, all the rest of them are reprint trainers, which are honestly good. We needed like Oak's Research and Copycat back. Buffer Piece is intriguing. I might end up playing that at some point. But yeah, mostly it's Pokemon-wise. So nobody really pulled the Ampharos. I think there's like 1 copy of it around. It makes all Pokemon in your deck and discard pile. Every single Pokemon you own becomes a Delta species Pokemon, so it powers up its own Delta Circle, which is kind of fun. Also means that you could search with Delta Call and get stuff out the deck that way. For Alligator is one I'll be showcasing at least a deck idea for, whether we play it today or not. It gives your Delta species Pokemon 10 more damage to the opponent, and it's got some decent stuff itself. It's a little bit underpowered, but its own ability stacks, so if you get multiple of them out, it's really good. Heracross would be very funny against basic exclusive decks, but they don't really exist at the moment, so that's kind of whatever. Meganium is the one we want to play today. When you evolve into this thing, you search for any free Pokemon cards out of your deck. This can include EXs and all of that fun stuff too. So that's pretty neat. Delta Reduction is a pretty awful attack, to be honest. It's like 40 for 2 is fine, but the way it reduces damage is super bad because it is an effect that applies to the opponent's Pokemon, not to Meganium. So if they switch or evolve or any of that fun stuff, then you don't reduce damage anymore, which is terrible. But it's mostly there because it can search out Pokemon cards when you evolve into it. So we're going to use this with the EX today. Milotic is actually really good, and I didn't pull it, and I am pretty mad, to be honest, because I really wanted this card. You look at the opponent's hand and steal a supporter effect from that hand if you choose to. It's even optional, so you don't have to if it's a supporter you don't want to use. Kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Hard once per turn on it, so if you have 2 of them you can't use 2. But yeah, also a decent enough attack too for being a purely support dude with 90 HP. Nidoking, not really too worth noting. You can do 60, snipe 60 if you discard a Pokemon. That synergizes with a Nidoqueen, but honestly, they're not really that good together. Nidoqueen is just a better one in general. Once per turn, search your deck for any Pokemon, so it's like Meganium, but once per turn rather than 3 in just the turn you play it. Vengeance is the real thing here. We played this with Marowak before, exactly the same numbers, but this time it's for a boost energy rather than fighting double colorless. Or in this case it'd be metal double colorless, but still, easier to pay. Ninetales kind of gets ruined by the fact that we don't have the EX anymore, I suppose. You'd be able to like shuffle which Ninetales you have in play by healing it and doing, you know, its power. Tricktail is kind of funny though, because it can accelerate any energy, so like that's decent, but with no other like follow-up for this thing, I don't know if it's actually any good. Pinsir, if the opponent's got like 5 or more cards in their hand, then it takes 30 less damage, but that doesn't really matter because they're just going to put themselves down to 4 cards and then attack it. Snorlax is funny because it's got a power and a body, but it needs to stay asleep for that body to do anything, and it can't put itself to sleep if it doesn't have damage counters, I'm pretty sure, so it's bad. I don't think Togetic was even pulled, but if it was, it's not amazing anyway. Just copies one of the opponent's Delta species attacks, except for the energy cost, which is fine, but 60 HP doesn't really do it any favors. Typhlosion wasn't really pulled, but it has the shady move that one of the Gengars had and the Banette EX had. The Gengar being quite old, obviously, at this point. But yeah, it lets you move damage counters from your board to the opponent's board, which is pretty fun. And then, I don't know, Arbok can burn and poison, that's kind of neat. Anti-Delta species on this for a Scramble energy is actually kind of strong, so in a Delta-heavy meta this would be pretty good, but this is the last Elder set, so who really knows? Moving on down the other stuff, the Dewgong's not worth noting, Gligar's not worth noting. If you evolve Jinx from Smoochum, you can pay less to retreat Fire and Psychic Pokemon. That's kind of neat, but is maybe not worth the bench space, I don't know. Ledyon, surprisingly, actually the part of the other deck I wish to at least demonstrate today. Whether or not I actually play it, we will see. Once per turn when you evolve into this, search for any one card out of the deck and put it into hand. It's the same as the Persian that we had before, except now it is on a Delta species Pokemon, maybe a little bit easier to search. Metal Star is a simple 30 for 2, and if it has a tool attached to it, draw 3 cards. So, good inbuilt draw engine, a little bit of chip damage as we go, so it's fine. Maybe a little bit underpowered, but we can make it work with the Feraligatr. Lickitung puts damage counters on Delta species Pokemon in particular, with Delta Mind here. Also a decent starter by drawing 2 cards for any 1 energy is pretty good. Mantine is like worse Celio, but nobody pulled the Tyranitar Delta from before really, so not worth it. Quagsire is intriguing for the tool-based things. When you evolve into the Quagsire, search your discard pile for up to 2 tool cards, put them into hand. And if it has a tool card on it itself, it is 70 for 3 energy, which is kind of fun, so that's alright. Tropius here lets you remove Special Conditions, Imprison, and Shockwave markers, the 2 EX specific things from this set, from all of your Pokemon. So this can help you reuse ability stuff that's been locked down by the Gardevoir that we'll get into. And then there's a bunch of stage 2 support EX support specifically in here. Xatu gives your stage 2 EXs 10 extra damage. There was a Swellow using Brave Bird before Brave Bird even existed. Gives your stage 2 EXs 0 retreat. There's an Altaria EX that gives you an energy acceleration from your hand to the stage 2 EXs. The Kingdra gives you 10 less damage on them, and I think there might have been one that gives like no weakness to them as well, but I don't remember it off the top of my head here. Maybe not, I might be misremembering on that. Other main notable card outside of the EXs here is definitely the Electabuzz. When you evolve into this thing from Elekid, you get to draw a card from the bottom of the deck once per turn, which is very strong, to be honest. So we will absolutely see that as we go. Otherwise, it's mostly down to like reprints of the Holon Energy stuff is here, which is nice. Delta Rainbow got a reprint here. Scramble is on its last legs at this point, last time this gets printed. So let's just very quickly look over a couple of the EXs that were pulled. Dragonite has Deafen, it's the same attack as Manectric's Disconnect, but now it's for 2 colorless energy, but it's on a stage 2. That stage 2 is 150 HP, no weakness, however, so we're going to be trying to abuse that today, even though I did only pull one of it. Dragon Roar is the more interesting attack though. Put 8 damage counters on the opponent's active for 4 energy, but if you KO them with this attack, any damage counters that weren't required for that KO pierce onto the opponent's bench however you choose. So you could do a ton with that and it's amazing. Flygon EX does 80 for 2 Psychic and a colorless. 10 damage to each of the opponent's bench that already has damage on it. If I pulled this, I would have played it with Jolteon, but I didn't, so oh well. If it's your active though, you put a damage counter on each of the opponent's bench basics between turns, the exact same ability as the Dark Tyranitar had. So very, very strong spread in general. Gardevoir with Imprison lets you, if it's active, once per turn put a marker on one of the opponent's Pokemon, and that any Pokemon that have Imprison markers on them can't use powers or bodies, so extremely disruptive. Flame Ball is also decent because you can move energy around the board. You actually don't have to move the energy though, so you can just keep doing 80 with the Gardevoir, which is quite nice. The Latias would have accelerated energy to a Latias or Latios you have in play, but ends your turn for doing so. That's still really strong though, to be honest, especially in the start of the game. Power Crush is a pretty good attack if you can fuel it. 90 for free is solid. You do have to discard energy if you KO with it, but that's fine. Latios, there were a couple of them pulled. I do have one of them. This gives your Latias 0 retreat, including itself, which is pretty cool. And in an EX heavy format, this would be pretty good, because Ice Barrier is the first of these kind of attack-based ones, where you prevent all effects of an attack, including damage, done by a subset of Pokemon. In this case, it is EXs. So if there were a lot of EXs running around, we would be able to block a lot of damage with this, but unfortunately not the case. Rayquaza, another one with no weakness and resistance. If the opponent has less prizes left than you, if they're ahead in the game, you get to ignore all the colorless energy on this thing. So 2 lightning does 70, which is insane. 1 lightning would do 50 if the opponent has a Pokepower or Pokebody. It snipes anywhere you want on the board. 30 without the power, so it's still very good. Salamence, it can change its type to fire, so the original Delta species Mence was already fire, but this one can change based on whatever you want. And you either do 60 for free or 80 for 4, but you can split that 80 to be a 40-40 instead. Snipe 40 onto one of the opponent's bench. So if you're going to overkill, just like the Dragonite, you can actually choose to put 40 damage elsewhere, which I think is really cool, but everybody else seems to not. And then the last one, of course, is the Charizard. Because I pulled it, I have to talk about it here. An absolutely ridiculous 4 dark and a colorless cost here. I have no idea how you're supposed to pay this cost, like, ever. But if you do, it's 150 damage, you discard all the energy on it, and mill the top 3 from the opponent's deck. Okay, like, ridiculous overkill aside, obviously. The card is hilarious, but how on earth do you charge this up, like, ever? Cannot think of any real ways for it. So, let's actually just move on to what we're playing here. We are going to be playing the Double Meganium. There are some rule changes I guess we could go over regarding like using duplicate decks and stuff again, but honestly we've been trying to sort of do that the whole time, you know, so nothing much really to change on my end. The goal of this deck is to use the Meganium's Nurture and Heal to put a Grass Energy onto a powerful attacker such as Groudon EX, and then use that energy to bounce it back to hand to put a Holon's Cast Form down to give the 2 of whatever energy type we need. In this case it'll be for Groudon, and then do its ridiculously strong Power Blast attack, which on a basic Pokemon does 100 for free, discard 2 energy. The discard 2 is actually good in this situation though, because the Groudon EX, when it has 1 or less energy attached to it, takes 20 less damage from anything, which is really good. So this actually works if I bench a second Groudon and don't have energy on it as well, because it is all of your Groudon EX in play, so that's kind of fun. We do have 2 of these pulled, so that'd be kind of nice. The way that we get this out, because it's quite expensive to try and pull out, right, is annoying as a stage 2. But the way we're going to do it is by using the Delta Meganium we have here. So the idea is that this is searchable via the Celios network or Holon Researcher, and we can then pull this thing out, get the EXs we need from the deck, and then be able to put the EXs in play and go from there. We do have a finite amount of cast form, unfortunately, so we do not necessarily have the ability to attack with this all game, but between 2 Holon Farmer and the other attacker stuff we have in here, we should be fine. Initially, this deck was a little bit more quote-unquote exciting, because I had Deoxys and Mew EXs respectively in here as well, but it's too much of a strain on the cast form, so we've gone a little bit further down here. We have, instead, the Dragonite EX, as mentioned. I would love to be playing slightly more of this, because Meganium Dragonite would probably be the focal point rather than the Groudon, but we only pulled 1, and trade negotiations obviously didn't go very far, because, let's face it, nobody really wants to play against Deafen, and I don't blame them. So, we only have the 1, and we're only really going to use it this one time, I think, but it's a grass acceleration deck. This is the best grass attacker that I have access to. And I really feel like Dragon Roar is an extremely interesting attack that is worth looking into. So that is what we shall do. As a result, we are playing this Dratini because it's not got 40 HP like the one from this new set has. And it seems about the best. As far as the other stuff goes, it's mostly just the cast form, all the Delta stuff here. I can never truly attack with this Bayleaf, but it is a Delta species card, so I can evolve into it and then still draw more with the cast form. Cast form is double duty in this deck. It's a really good lead because I have a ton of Delta basics and stuff here, only the Groudon doesn't count. But it also is the energy lifeline, so we do need the 2 farmer to go with it there. The other side of it is the 1/1 Electric Electabuzz. I wish I could fit more of these in because this power is like kind of amazing, to be honest, but it's hard to fit the space in. And I wanted to try this because it's not going to just die to Battle Frontier, and also because it's Delta species in the entire line. So Porygon 2, not quite as good here, even though it would be nice. And then Chimecho is the other one. If I have a big Holon engine in here, so I'm using Holon supporters quite often, and this lets me get a basic grass energy out of the discard once every time I use a Holon supporter. So it's just really strong for this kind of deck. We do only have 10 grass energy in here, so I think it's worth it to make sure that we can get them back. Speaking of our stadiums of choice, it feels wrong not to play a Battle Frontier in the deck which has nothing that gets hurt by Battle Frontier, but ultimately the better stadium card in this deck is actually Power Tree. Holon's cast form is not an energy card in the discard, it is a Pokemon card, so we can go ahead and once per turn just take a grass energy back every time. If you look at the Meganium as well, even if I use this thing to attack, it discards an energy from itself every time. So between that and the Holon guys, we're going to be discarding energy fairly often, and that's without getting KO'd. So having the ability to recover them in this deck is just ridiculously good. We also need counter stadiums in case we do get hit by something like a Holon Legacy, because that would ruin Electabuzz and especially our search engine in Meganium. So we do kind of need that around. Otherwise, we've got the free transceiver that I have access to, a full 4 rare candy this time because we're not playing Dragonair, so it kind of is a bit more important to have the 4 of them here. 2 Warp Point because our guys are all like 2 Retreat, they're relatively beefy. 2 Windstorm, we need to be able to discard Cessation Crystal in particular, and this is all the Windstorm I have. Supporter-wise, a decent number. 2 Celio and 1 Holon Researcher. Researcher is like bad Celio for this deck, but it does specifically let me use it with Holon Transceiver, so it's a searchable bad Celio, and that ultimately makes the cut. Draw-wise, we've got like 1 Scientist, 1 Professor Oak's Research, 1 Copycat. I'm not really sure like how large the hand sizes are gonna get here. Some of our test games have been like really big, but then other ones, they've kind of just not been. So like I like the idea of having a Research just in case my hand gets too big. And then 3 Holon Adventurer, because this card is probably just best here. We have a lot of Delta species Pokemon we can discard for the 4 count as well. And then we have the 3 Mentor, 2 Farmer, not playing any Dual Ball in here, even though this makes like going first a lot worse potentially. I still feel like Dual Ball is just not reliable enough for what I need in here, so we're just going to play the Mentor, and we're just going to hopefully... We have 14 basics in here, and like 12 of them are related to Delta stuff, so hopefully we can just like use a cast form if we go first, and you know, go from there. Yeah, pretty straightforward deck overall. I think it's mostly just get your Megs out and then just accelerate away. Once you're hitting 100 a turn, it's hard to keep up with, so that's pretty good. The alternative, which isn't quite as damaging of a deck, but is definitely interesting in its own right, is this combination of Feraligatr and Ledion that Pepper wanted to try, but I was the one who pulled for Ledion, so we made it work for me instead. So yeah, Ledion, as we mentioned, it searches any 1 card out of your deck when you evolve into it, and then if it has a tool attached for just 2 energy, one of which can be a metal to give you more tanking power, 30 damage and draw 3 cards. If you can stack a couple of Feraligatr in play, this actually becomes like 40-50 damage, because Feraligatr gives Ledion more power, but it also gives itself more power, which makes Dragoff a very strong attack as well. So really good stuff overall for that. And then we have the 101 Flygon in here as well, because Lightning is a bit of a pain for this deck, to be honest, and also this is extra acceleration. We do have 4 Delta Rainbow in here instead of just a straight up basic energy, so I think that is fine. We can accelerate like 8 different energy in this deck, so it should be pretty good. Just a 1 cast form, like it feels weird, but we really want Ledion in the active as early as possible, and we don't need the cast form for its energy requirements very often. But it's too bulky to like lead with, really, so not really too fussed there. Otherwise, a lot of the same stuff that we see here. Again, the 4 Red Candy, because we have the 101 for Flygon here. Just a 1 Windstorm this time. I'm not as fussed about tool cards in this deck. Yeah, Cessation Crystal is a pain, but I think I can probably work around it more often than not. Castaway is the big one for this deck. Only 3 copies of it. I do have 4, but I couldn't keep it in. Search your deck for a supporter card, Pokemon tool, and basic energy. The middle one is why we play it in here, because we want to get our tools out of the deck so we can attach them to the evolved Pokemon here, but also it gives you a supporter of your choice for next turn, which is pretty good. You can get like Celio, which we play 4 of in here, and that lets you grab the Ledion to search for any 1 card that you want the turn after. So it's pretty good. You don't actually need very much draw in this deck, which is why the only draw supporters are the 2 Holon Adventurer, because the Ledion itself is going to be giving you all the draw in this deck. So just a little bit of supplemental here. 1 Farmer. Again, it could only really fit 1, to be honest. 2 Mentor. You do want a lot of Ledion stuff out early, so you know we can use that to get a bits going with Transceiver and whatnot. And then 2 Meteor Falls as the stadium of choice here. As it turns out, the Totodile from Delta Species has got Rage. So we can use the Meteor Falls with the Feraligatr, and that lets us go ahead and use a very powerful Rage attack when we need to. Tool-wise, we have 4 Curse Powder. I initially only had 2 of this and like 3 Solid Rage instead. I underestimated how much I was going to be able to go like ahead on prizes with this deck. So Curse Powder is definitely better. You can only attach any of these tools to evolution Pokemon, but that's what all of our stuff is anyway, so we're going to be fine on that front. And the Curse Powder, if it's active and gets KO'd, you put 3 damage counters on the thing that attacked it. So long as it's by damage, like damage counters gets around this, but that's fine. So you put this on the Ledion, it's doing 30 draw 3 every time the opponent wants rid of it, but they get rid of it and they get an extra 3 damage counters on them, so you can clean them up with either another Ledion or the Feraligatr. which is really good. If you do find yourself going behind on prizes, because Ledion is pretty fragile, Solid Rage gives you 20 extra damage here, so this then turns Feraligatr into doing 90 on its own steam, which is pretty solid, to be honest. And then just energy-wise, the 4 basics that we need to search with the Castaway. 4 metal, because Ledion is a good attacker, and Flygon also benefits from special metal, so there is that. 2 scramble, if we are going to go behind on prizes by just like dinking with this for a bit. Scramble energy is a 1 energy 60 on the Feraligatr, so that's pretty good. And then the 4 Delta Rainbow, you can accelerate them with Flygon. They power the grass energy requirement on the Flygon, and also lightning on the Gator. So that's pretty much it. It's really, it's awkward because it's not like the highest damage output deck ever, but it's definitely more consistent than it looks. So long as you don't get like Battle Frontiered immediately, I suppose, then that would be rather sad. But yeah, it's pretty alright. So that's what we'll do there. So Leo has still got to come in, so we do have a little bit of time before that happens here. So what are we dealing with here? Oh, it's a dog trio. That's pretty smart. This is a... Oh, I see what it is. It's like Grumpig Fossils, but like a 4-axis-y sort of thing. This might be a little bit weird for this. Deafen immediately eviscerates the deck, but this obviously does... Like, I don't have a ton of spread damage-based things, so... We'll have to see. That's a curious one. Don't know exactly how... I mean, the Gator is a very, very good matchup against this, because Feraligator's Drag-Off just lets me pull things up off the bench whenever I want. The bench damage is mitigated by Dugtrio in the first place, so that's kind of interesting. And then we are seeing Rosgon from... the Rosgon equivalent from the side of Pepper here. Rayquaza EX is pretty solid. You might be able to do some fun stuff with that. But it is kind of tanked by the Dugtrio, so not really sure how this one goes. I don't think he's got a Psychic resistance on that in that thing, because there's no Dart types he's using here. So I don't know. Everything except the Nose Pass is also an evolution card, so you don't even do a lot with Flygon EX's like sound damage here. This is an interesting looking matchup for sure. We'll have to see. I'm kind of curious where this Grumpig even came from though, because I don't think Matt actually... I'll have to ask him. I don't remember him having that before, because he said the only reason he played the Dodrio is because he didn't have that, so... I don't know. Anyway, there's definitely a lot more interesting than the Manectric stuff, so I guess I can talk about that in the meantime while these guys are going. Needless to say, the last few weeks have not been particularly good for this, because Manectric EX is not inherently fun for this this sort of thing to deal with, we'll just put it that way. And yeah, there really wasn't any real way of dealing with it, and Matt is unfortunately the kind of person who will simply play the same deck over and over and over, despite it being no fun for anyone. He also wants to only play control decks where possible, so it's like, yeah, there really just isn't any fun to be had from that, and it's not beneficial for the format to see the same deck over and over and over again either. So we've gone over some things a little bit. There's been a bit of discussion on it, and we're going to... It's a little bit arbitrary at the moment, and I don't know how it's going to all work out, because there's a lot of potential loopholes and shit, but that's just the way it's going to go. We have a sort of system in place to try and prevent the same deck from showing up multiple times, and also to prevent the same like non-engine cards from showing up all the time. Like someone like the Makago is fine, obviously, because that is an engine piece here. Like Flygon is energy acceleration, so that is also like relatively reasonable. But we want to try and show a variety of decks, especially considering we do get such a good variety of decks to look at during the draft. It feels just really silly to play the same deck for 2 seasons in a row, effectively, like 2 actual TCG seasons, which is 8 episodes of this in a row. Especially when it isn't a deck that anybody is having fun playing against. So it's complicated is the best way of putting it, and there's a lot of awkwardness around the stuff. It has actually changed the trade dynamic quite a lot too, because we can't just now, like, there's a limit of 2 times for each individual like attacker, if you will, to show up. So, or yeah, again, non-engine card. So something like the Rayquaza over here can only show up in 2 different decks, and they have to be different decks too. It can't just be like, oh, I'm going to play this Rayquaza Flygon thing with the Holon engine, I'm then going to play it with the Castaway engine and not the Holon engine, and that's different. No, it's not. Likewise, it wouldn't be different if you played like Ludicago and then played, you know, like a Paragon 2 as the draw instead of the of someone else of it, right? So you have to have a significantly different deck each time to make this work. And also, if somebody else has already played the exact deck, like we saw about 3 people were playing Ludicago over about 6 showings, I think. Because Matt, Sai, and Pepper have all played Ludicago at least once on separate occasions. And I mean, if people are going to pull the same deck, that's kind of going to happen. But we do want to be able to show a variety of things. So we want to try and make things meaningfully different. And yeah, I mean, functionally, the kind of deck that Matt's playing this time is very, very similar to the one that he's played before, but it is with a different attacker, and our attacks from before that weren't there in the past, which makes it interesting as well. The Dog Trio wasn't around when he played this before. So we want to create a balance between showing off different decks and being able to show a deck's evolution. Probably the biggest example of what this is going to affect, and I don't know how we're going to deal with it yet, is the inevitable Plox deck, aka Gardylade, that we are going to come across in Secret Wonders. Because that deck was top tier, not constantly, but was top tier over the course of 3 individual years of the Pokemon TCG. It underwent different evolutions as things went along, but it was also one of the most oppressive decks of all time. I do not yet know exactly how that is going to go, but this man is playing Professor Cosmo's Discovery. I just realized that. Holy crap. Wait a minute. What on earth is going on here? That's crazy. I have no idea. Why would you even play that in... The man has got 3 copies of Mary's Request. Why are you playing this garbage? Professor Cosmos Discovery has got to be one of the worst trainer cards I have ever read, in terms of supporter cards I have ever read. It's absolutely wild. Yeah, this looks like a pretty awful matchup with the Dog Trio in play. This looks like a pretty awful matchup for Pepper. I should really unmute in the Discord at this point, but I want to actually like chat over to myself here, talk to you guys. What point is a reasonable out? Where do we go from there then? I guess it depends on what Matt has actually... What Matt is actually willing to give up with it here. Oh yeah, we also have 2 Warp Point in our deck, so I think we'll be able to handle... I think we'll be able to handle this. It's going to be weird. Dragonite EX is probably going to be the big play in this one. We need to get that out, but we can get that out, so... I think we should be okay. It is going to be a bit more awkward than I would like, though. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Like, you give up the Makago that's got the... But then there's a Strength Charm, so it will end up getting KO'd. Oh yeah, Windstorm for getting rid of that is pretty good. Yeah, there's no Deltas in play for Matt, so he doesn't need to get rid of the Stadium here. So with the Strength Charm that's on the Latios, any energy lets it do its attack here, and that will knock it out. Flygon also does let you accelerate like both of those energy that were played, so that's kind of neat. And yeah, with the Strength Charm you could just like Ice Wing here, I guess. That's gonna be it by the looks of it. Okay. Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have to ask real quick actually, because I thought the whole reason you didn't play this Grumpig before and you played the Dodrio was because you didn't have this Grumpig.
Yeah, me too. So I looked at my draft again, and I think the Grumpigs were split across 2 lines, so all 4 of the other ones were up there. And I was like, oh, okay, well, there's 4, and I don't see the other one, so whatever, I'll just play Dodrio.
Yeah.
I had exactly 2 of this one. I was like, oh, well, okay.
I wasn't calling you out on that. I was just like, I know you'll have gotten it from somewhere, but I also know it wasn't traded for, and you were like, oh, I wish I had this because I'd have played it instead of the thing. So I was just like, I'm gonna question you on that just to be sure.
Yeah. I got caught out because this thing was prized, so I played around it turn 2.
Ah.
Realised it was prized, played around it not existing, he took it as a prize on turn 2.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play against this kind of fossil teleport thing before, so I am actually kind of curious. Like, I would have had a really good matchup against it with the deck I played initially, but this is an entirely different round, and I have no idea what's going to happen now.
Yeah, like, this has
good.
no real answers to it, so...
It's very good against decks that have, like, linear enough strategy, but the Dog Trio is a really good, way of
the
like,
Doggy just
adding
kind
to
of
that.
kills any plan I could have against it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog Trio is good for sure in this sort of thing. I'm gonna be curious with it though, because I think there's a wording on that thing which might, if I don't prize like an idiot again, as I always seem to do, might actually help a bit for me here. We shall see.
The format is really weak to purple right now.
Yeah, that can also be a thing. Alright, what would we like?
Oh, heads all go, please.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
You don't draw going first, good sir.
Oh, sorry, you're right. You want this on top or shuffle?
I'd shuffle it in, please. That would be a prize penalty in the actual tournament scene, wouldn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays that would actually be like a double prize penalty for that sort of mistake, wouldn't it? Maybe not so much in these days, but I don't know.
Should we read that?
One thing I really hate about like every basic in this set is that they've all got 40 HP, and that's disgusting. But you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why this list ran Stump. Was the counter random bullshit like that? Yeah, because I was thinking one of the changes I made from Ross's list is I took out Stumps because I'm running eggs. Why would I want Stumps?
Yeah.
Stump kind of would have answered that.
Yeah, kind of would have. Okay, this is an intro. I mean, I am glad I went second with this one because I probably wouldn't have been able to do as much going first. I am going to play Transceiver. See how stupid my prizes are this time. That's usually what it is, isn't it? It's like, okay, how dumb are the prizes here, and how much can I work around it? Because I seem to be very, very poor when it comes to that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm missing one of the things I really wanted here, but that's okay. We can probably pull it out later. Hopefully, anyway. This might actually get a bit awkward. Okay, well, I do have the Mentor, and I can pull it out from here. We'll Mentor, discard grass. And That would be kind of interesting, actually. Yeah. So we'll grab. I'll use the baby evolution here as well. We'll grab the Elekid, the Electabuzz, and another Chikorita here. Right. So we'll put the Chimecho down so I can get that grass energy back with Itsing. It's a more recent addition to this because it actually is really good, thinking on it. Electabuzz's effect, so I can draw one from the bottom of the deck.
Oh, how did you do that? Release one from the bottom.
So I just picked. I just picked the deck up and right-clicked it.
Ah, wait.
I'm sure I told you that last week.
So I have the deck picked up, but right-click just like bounces it.
Okay. Is it right-click on like computers and stuff then? Because I'm using left trigger on my controller, but that just like picks the bottom, just like drops the bottom part of the stack.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I know there's a way of doing it, but yeah, I'm hybrid like controller keyboard for stuff here because I use the controller for camera input basically, and one of the nice things it lets me do is doing stuff like flipping and whatnot fairly easily. Like I can just LB for flipping, and then left trigger when I'm holding something drops the bottom thing of it. So it's nice for me. Yeah, alright, this is the Mysterious One. So these obviously can't be hit by special conditions, so no sleep powder shenanigans, but that's alright. Just thinking where this energy needs to get attached in if it's not doing anything active.
Fossils are permanently asleep.
Fair. Honestly, it probably should still go active. I don't think you can attack with Grumpig outside of like a DRE or something, which you wouldn't play because it cuts the damage too much. So I'm probably okay with that. Yeah, we'll attach that active and pass at that.
Okay. Not great. Okay.
Oh, it's alt right click.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I'll pass.
Ooh, okay. Awkward.
Yep. Got a bazillion supporters and outs, but not.
Yeah. Okay, we'll use the Electabuzz. So we'll draw that. Seems pretty good. We'll Adventurer, discard grass to draw 3. We will pick up that grass again with the Chimecho. Again, kind of got to consider where attaches are going. I think this will just go to hand for just now. We, probably could get away with doing that. Yeah, we'll evolve into Bayleaf here. Just thinking which way around is best. It's still only one retreat on that thing. Because, like, I could... So, I'm trying to decide. I have a cast form, so I can either attack with a Bayleaf, or I can, like, bench the cast form, put the energy, I've just put back in the hand on that, and draw, what is it, like 4 cards here? Kind of seems good. I think I should really get through that. Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll go there. We'll pay to retreat this guy, and yeah, we'll Delta draw for 4 here.
Cool.
Seems like it's oh, geez, really? Okay. Shit, you weren't kidding. Oh God, is that? Oh, whoa, I could do like so much here then. Yeah, now I've got to actually figure out how this turn is playing out because there's a lot. Yeah, needless to say, I was not expecting that. Let's go Rare Candy to Meganium here. So we'll use the Meganium, search for any free Pokemon cards out of the deck. So we will grab the EX. I guess we will grab Chico and EX as well here. So we'll bench, we will second Red Candy. That one can get evolved because that was previous turn. Right. We can, I think, probably transceiver out of the. I'm just thinking his deck or discard is better here. Because I want to get the researcher. It's just, oh, not the researcher, the adventurer. It's just like whether to take one out. Yeah, probably just get the one from the discard. Keep the one in deck in case I draw it. So we'll do that. Discard the. I did put Chico. Yeah, I did put Chico down. So just making sure I'm actually doing this right, because I have this one in hand and I'm like, how did that get there? So we'll do that so I can draw 4 off of the adventurer because it's Delta card that I got rid of. Chimecho. Grab the energy. Pay to retreat? Question mark. I'll use the 2 Meganiums to nurture heal, manual attach, and we might as well just take it out with a Razor Leaf. I know I don't take a prize for it, but I don't care at this point, right? I just want to get the stuff down.
Pass.
I don't even think I used the I forgot to use the Electabuzz that turn, but I don't think I'm just like, that didn't even. Jesus. Okay. I'm not gonna forget to use it this turn. I have a habit, like I guess I picked it up from Sai. I have a habit of forgetting to use all the stuff that's available to me at the moment.
That's why I always do that weird pause at the end of my turn. That's me checking everything.
Okay, so you do have the fossil down. Okay. Let's. I still have one in discard. Okay, let's mentor pitch. Does it matter? Pitch farmer, I suppose. And we'll grab the guy with 100 HP exactly, and yeah, that'll do. This is actually what the deck is supposed to be built around, not necessarily how, but whatever, it doesn't matter in this case. Yeah, because the cast form's really good for this. We'll use we'll use the Chimecho, grab the energy back. I think I should probably just like use. I'm only going to use the one Megs here. We'll just put it there, and yeah, we'll just Razor Leaf it, I guess. Not really any reason to do anything else right now.
Pass.
Okay. Sheesh. It's unfortunate. Electabuzz. I guess I'll use a Meganium to do it. Again, probably doesn't matter too much. And yeah, we'll just take the KO on it, I guess.
Pass.
Okay. Yep. So I was just reading the thing there just to make sure of exactly what it did. Yeah, this doesn't heal special conditions, so I was just looking at it going, is there a sleep play coming here or something? Okay, I guess I should probably at least do one other thing with it here. I'll use cast form on this one, and then use one of the Meganium to reattach the energy that would get bounced, just so I have it ready. And yeah, we'll KO with Razor Leaf, I guess. There's no reason for me to do the 90, because that's just an energy discard for nothing. Oh no, a slug.
Pass.
Okay. I'm really trying to consider what else I even need to do. Is the thing is like what more do we need here? Because I should probably I guess we'll just use a Meganium, and then we'll take the knockout. I'll take a damage counter this time, right? I didn't
Yeah.
hit like a claw. I guess did I hit a claw fossil one before? I don't think I
the
did.
other ones
I think it was all like
roots.
root
Well, you got
mysterious,
healed
wasn't
off
it?
anyway.
Yeah, I would have if it was before, but I just wanted to make sure I was still being right. Oh. This Diglett is having a very bad time.
Alright, return.
Yep.
Okay. Pass.
Jeez. Dang. Yeah, no point in doing anything else in the moment. We'll just take the knockout here, I think, with Razor Leaf. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I tried to draw and then it didn't let me for a sec, so... Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm just gonna scoop, but
This is unfortunate.
Really? Really?
Wow.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. Jesus, okay. Do we want to try that again? Because obviously that didn't really go anywhere, and...
If you're up for it, sure. Or if, Pepper, if you
I'll let
like
you have a real
to play.
game.
Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. I want to see this actually do more than just draw pass for 10 turns in a row, so, you know. We
Me
did
too.
we saw a little bit of it as I was finishing up the, like, after my explanation stuff, but I want to actually see it in a game doing something here, because, yeah, that was rough. Okay.
I feel.
Kind of feeling the same, but I think that will be fine. Okay, let's try this again, shall we?
Take your pick.
I guess I'll go for tails then. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, well, I have a Chikorita, I have a Grass Energy, and I will draw one card with my Delta. That's that. What is it? The, yeah, Delta draw. Draw one card. Go ahead. Yep. I almost put this in my deck this week because of the like EXs and stuff, but I just couldn't bring it. It's like, yeah, it's kind of bad if I go first and I don't have like more than one Pokemon or something. I've lost quite a few test games to go in second just because I can't mentor or whatnot, but I can't bring myself to play more copies of this when the mentor is searchable and deck space is a bit tight. It just doesn't feel right.
Okay. Dual ball, one trigger.
Yep.
Getting a. A what? Suppose getting a. Sure.
Oh, the
Better
Lapras.
than that.
Okay. Yep. So now Lapras gets any supporter that you want. Mm-hmm.
Word. Last one.
Mm-hmm.
The nose.
The nose. Alright, and then finally this can get shuffled up.
Yes. Probably yes. Okay. That's something. A lot better than last game.
Yeah, automatically you've done better than last game. Alright, let's draw. That's curious. Okay, not a massive fan of this, but honestly, looking at the way this deck is set up, I don't think my main game plan actually works here. We're going to Adventure and discard the Groudon, because I don't think that's a good attacker against you somehow. Seems kind of bad. We will do Chico, Dratini, evolve to Bayleaf there, attach to, let's see, honestly probably the Dratini is fine here. I'm going to get punished for that later, but it's okay. And now I've got 3 of them, we will draw 3 with our Delta draw.
Go ahead and draw one more if you'd like.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Um,
I am very curious about your engine this time. We're gonna have to talk about that after.
um,
And again, Fieldwork is not even necessarily the worst card in this this era, right? So it's obviously bad giving the opponent extra draws and a thing with no disruption, but it's not the worst because most of the time it's like all the draw set, this stuff is pretty bad anyway, so I don't know. I don't hate it.
yours can do better.
Mm-hmm.
To pass.
Okay. Well, you have 2 energy downs, so that's at least something. Let's go for Meganium Get the Search. Yeah, no idea how many weeks I've wanted to try and make this thing work again. Like, obviously the Wigglytuff Deoxys thing was fine, but not stellar. But, oh man, it is so much nicer being able to do it with this. Alright, so I think we'll do the same thing as last time with the Electabuzz. And then our other one... Yeah, it's probably okay. We'll get the Chimecho for the other one here. So then we will Transceiver the Adventurer. Yeah, it's just Groudon as the other one there, so we'll discard Grass to draw 3. Use the Chimecho and the Electabuzz before I forget. Okay. Right. Let's go for probably just attached to Meganium is probably alright here.
Hello.
Hello.
Nope.
Yeah, Meganium's probably okay. And then we'll cast form for the full 5 count here.
Cosmo.
Yeah, this is the bit that I'm especially curious on. It's like, okay, so on heads it is bottom 3 cards of your deck. Okay, apparently alt right click is how you do it. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yes. Alright, we got Mag, we got Pig.
Neat.
Alright, Pat, let's see what you got.
Pat, Smooth Over.
Yep. Smooth Over's so gross in a format with no disruption stuff.
Yeah. The nose.
Yep. So
Reversal.
you have to discard the fossil, right?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yep. The tree. Boss. Now, yeah, teleport blast.
So we take 40. Okay, seems alright. We'll draw. Oh, that is pretty good, I will admit. Okay. Yeah, that's quite strong. Alright, we will double candy here. One for the Dragonite, one for the Meganium. Seems pretty good. Does that matter? No, it kind of does matter. Let's War Point here.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I realized that's only got 40 HP, so, you know. We will use Meganium. I will manually attach as well to Meganium. I have not Electabuzzed yet, so I might as well do that now. Like, got anything in the discard? No. Okay. Yeah, so we'll mentor with grass here. Let's just grab out that and thin the deck out, I suppose. Grab those. All of those to hand, because I can't attach cast form this turn anyway. And we will deafen. Knock out the fossil. No trainer cards. Yeah, no non-supporter trainers next turn.
Yeah, smooth over. I don't know. Yes, sure.
Shuffle the deck first, please. If
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the
taking
card you
something
get.
else.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
Field
Okay.
worker.
Yep, and I will draw as well here. I've still got so many cards left in deck, I'm not worried about deck out anytime soon, so I just need to make sure I get energy and whatnot.
Yes, we can. Retreat, teleport past.
Okay.
Oh, backwards.
To retreat. Okay. Sure. We'll draw. We'll use the Meganium, because that heals 10. Yeah, we'll just deafen here. Don't really see a reason not to.
Okay, smooth over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't use the Electabuzz because, like, I'm not too worried about deck out, but I also don't want to overdo it right now. So I think I have enough with me that I can handle things as long as I don't go crazy. So, but 18 cards left in deck. I probably should have done it anyway, but whatever.
Yeah, okay. That on top. And sure, some card spit.
Yeah, I can afford to draw one.
Okay. Then warp energy.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
7.
Oh, right, teleport, right, okay. Sure. Okay, we will use the Meganium to do that, heal up. Actually gonna bounce one of these for a cast form as well. I know I don't need that much energy on this thing, but I want it to be able to heal later. And we will Dragon Roar and do the excess damage to the Grumpig here.
Let's see.
Dragon Roar's actually the attack I wanted to use on this thing too. It's like Deafen is really strong, but I really wanted to see how this second attack plays. Because I think that's actually the interesting part of this card.
Yeah. See that? I can understand that. So, okay, so point. You know, I guess before I do that, I should see.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay. Alright, Cal, I gotta step away for it's looking like probably 5 to 10 minutes, I would think.
Okay.
So if you wanna like set up the game with I guess Pepper's already playing. Forgot about that.
They're playing, but that's fine. I can take a look and see what they're doing at least.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'll be back ASAP.
Sure. I'll put a dice on your thing for doing that.
Okay.
Because you did flip 2 heads on the thing, so that's the last action that was being done. So, cool. Interesting board state we've ended up in with the stuff here. So let's see what we can find on the other side here then, with a cast form and a mentor into the Feebas over there. I'm a little bit mad with this Feebas, I'll be honest, because there weren't very many Milotic pulled in the first place, and for some reason Sai thought it was a good idea to trade his only 1 copy that he had to Pepper, who already had 1. So, like, I really wanted to use this thing too, and it's just, I'm kind of mad, I'll admit, that it got, you know, picked up without without any chance of it myself, because it's just like, really? You're gonna give the only other person who has it, like, both copies of it? That doesn't seem very fair. Like, why would you trade it for 1? But whatever. Not my decision. In, and it's a cast form stare down. Alright. So it seems like Leo probably went first then. Couldn't do anything on turn 1, so now we're staring down this. TV reporter's good. He's using the discolored one, but whatever. We ain't gonna fall into that. You gotta draw first, but he's probably getting told that now. Doesn't matter. I mean, it kinda does, because you could want to discard one of the cards he drew instead, but yeah, you don't discard supporter cards. Not for another generation yet. Gen 4, which is 15 sets, I think, also had that. So we've got 16 more weeks of that before they get discarded. This is the thing I always found about playing like too many cast form. It's like, oh, okay. So he's playing the Electabuzz engine, but he couldn't get the Elekid's down first, so he's just gonna have to use them as a fuel for cast form draws at this point, which is fine. It's just a shame. Like you really need the Elekid first. Why I've obviously played a lot of Mentor. So we'll see. Oh, there's a Lass as an interesting one. He drew into the Mentor. There's Ludicolo? I don't even think Leo has the swing dance one. This is very interesting. Also a bad time for him against my deck, because the Meganium resists water, right? So its Milotic's ability just lets you use the use one of the supporters here. I think you do still need, yeah, discarding is part of the effect of these. So yeah, it's part of the effect, so you will have to discard if you pick a Holon guy. So if you pick Holon last here to try and get a bunch of energy out, you're gonna discard first, but it then looks at the top 12 cards of your deck. Any energy you find there you can pull up. But I think it's just Celio that's getting used here, so just a straight find a Pokemon out of the deck, which is also reasonable. Hopefully he doesn't try and use the second Milotic because it's got a hard once per turn on it. You could evolve into it just to get it out of range, but alternatively get another basic down here and then draw 5 with the cast form would be pretty good. Or get the Magnemite because you don't have the energy. So okay, was looking to get a guaranteed energy here then, I guess. Whoa, okay. A Candy Flygon too. Yeah, so Electabuzz with Swift doesn't actually do weakness damage. So the Electabuzz is only an engine. It's unfortunate to have to bench 2 of them, but if that's the way the hand was, that's what you've got to do. And then Flygon accelerate the energy to Latios is interesting. And draw 4. Yep. You can Rare Candy into a stage 1, it just has to be from an unevolved Pokemon that you were Rare Candy from, so that's obviously good. Yeah. To get that Celio out, because the Milotic will be able to steal one of these supporters every single turn, so you want to, if you can, you want to make sure you get... Oh, right, he has that one. Huh. That's interesting. That obviously completely flips the script on the Meganium stuff, because Megs is weak to fire. So, that's one of the fun things about the Delta Species cards, right? Is, yeah, that completely flips everything on its head. Is somewhat curious as to using the Rare Candy if you were going to Celio for the Ludicolo anyway, but that's fine. I don't know exactly what they're discussing, obviously, at the moment, but Latios being in play is going to make that Ludicolo do 30 more damage, though, so it's going to hurt. I guess they were just making sure everything was being done right, which, to my knowledge, or to what I was seeing there, it was. Ah, right. That could have also been the thing of just looking at going, there's no point in continuing this one. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he had a draw engine going, but I guess he didn't have the right energy for Ludicolo to do anything there. Oh no, that's not what's going on at all. I'm silly. It's the fucking. Never mind. It's the Milotic. Yeah, I was thinking there's no way. That's more than enough to go on. So this will be Holomenta that's getting used then. Man, I bet you were like thinking internally there, going, what is he talking about? That's stupid. Actually listening to the player audio would have been a good thing there, but so just the two, the cast form and the execute here. So the execute, obviously Delta Circle is a very strong attack, so yep. So cast form bounces the energy back to hand. It's a Delta Rainbow, so the Flygon can attach it to the execute. There's probably Executor left in the hand then, and this is a pretty sweet draw five coming up here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Draw 5 from that, and then draw 5 for the cast form as well at the end of turn. That's pretty good. Didn't get anything playable off it. I mean, he's already manually attached and used a 1 Flygon, so there's probably not a lot to do from there. Okay, so what do we see from Leo here? And now his cast form can draw 3, so that's pretty good, right? I think he can bench the Wingull if he wants to. Pelipper's Delta Transport would let him switch a Delta species Pokemon with 1 from his bench. So not the cast form, but all of his other stuff effectively gets a free get out of jail card at that. Yep, TV reporter. Really is a shame. Imagine if these two Electabuzz were both evolved from Elekid here too. Discarding the pair of the Wingull. Okay. Well, we know he's got another Lombre in hand, so that's not too bad to get an extra guy down. And yeah, now I'll draw 3. I saw the hand move there. I don't know if that's indicating anything or not, but Celio is pretty solid. Already having the Executor though, so it's looking. I say it's looking strong. That Ludicolo is threatening 90 as soon as... I mean, there's Delta Rainbow in hand. So yeah, that Ludicolo is threatening 90 damage pretty soon. So... yeah, it's an interesting card for sure. Absolutely mollywops the Meganium if that comes into play, so that's a bit tough. But then it also gets one shot by a Groudon EX, so kind of just depends on... Alright, we are seeing the Hold-On Last get played here. So every energy card which is found there, not just basics, every energy card that's found there can get put into Pepper's hand. So yep, Water, Lightning, and the Delta Rainbow. That's a pretty solid hit off of Blast, to be honest. So imagine we're flag-oning one, attaching the other. That split bomb is now available. Which is probably what we're going to see here. I can't imagine there being a need to draw another 5 cards here. Ludicolo is only if he leaves it too long, the Ludicolo is just going to get charged up in the meantime. So I think here you probably retreat and split bomb and do 30 to the Ludi, and most likely just knock out the cast form. No, instead just going for... I guess you could split bomb the 2 Electabuzz and get them ready, but Ludicolo is such a threat here. You're going to do 70 with Delta Circle, so I think you need to at least put 30 on that. Yeah. Okay, I kind of like that too. It keeps the cast form available, so it keeps more draw here, but it does get you set up. The only problem is, again, that Ludicolo, as soon as it comes in, and you don't have a way of forcing it in before it gets to attack, that Ludicolo is just going to one-shot the Executor. And then what else on your board? Because it's lightning weak, one on your board actually hits it for 70. All of your attacks are currently 60 damage, which is not great. Because the thing with Overzealous, if we look at the ability here, if your opponent has any EXs in play, Ludicolo's attacks do 30 more damage. So the second this thing comes in, it doesn't have to be attacking an EX, it just has to see that there's an EX on the opponent's board. And it's doing 90 for free, which nothing outside of Latios and, I guess, Flygon survives. But I don't know, there's nothing on that board which kills it in response, so it's going to get 180 damage off. I suppose you can split bomb it again here, and that's probably what's being going for, because then it's softened up enough. It just like mitigates the damage a little bit. I don't know, I almost feel like, maybe this is just me, I feel like taking the problem head on would have probably been the best bet here. Because knockoff is only doing 60 and discards a card from the hand, which that hand is gigantic, right? You take a prize off of the cast form, and then you go, yeah, because you've seen the opponent's hand, you know there's no double rainbow and there's no scramble energy in that hand, right? So they'd have to draw into it, which seems a little unlikely. I love this play, Mentor into Elekid Electabuzz. It's very, very nice. Like, you can't bench them at the moment because there's no space, but they'll get there. Just drawing more with the cast form. I don't know. I might be over aggressive with it, but I just think if you've seen what the opponent's hand is and you know their reach is not that likely to hit, I guess Hold on Lass might still be there though, because that was what you used as a supporter. So maybe you're thinking, okay, Lass into a scramble energy would be really bad. So here we're seeing the researcher discard a Trapinch, gets any Delta Pokemon from the deck. Not entirely sure what you go for here. Again, Milotic is probably okay because you don't want the Phoebus being exposed, but the Milotic's got a higher retreat cost as well, so it's maybe a little bit weird. Rayquaza. Ray is a pretty good one too. It is critically super effective against Ludicolo, so even though it will take a Mollywop of its own, it will respond in kind. One-shotting an active Ludicolo, actually. So yeah, the Lass is still there. This is probably the final turn where a Lass is actually going to be super good, but I think Farmer is the better play here as well. 3 basic energy and 3 Pokemon from the discard pile, or as many as you have if you have less than that. It's not just basics, it's any Pokemon. So 3 Pokemon, 3 basic energy back into the deck. So that's manual attach for turn is the special metal. The Flygon is the Delta. Leo's just making sure of what's going on. So what do you reckon here? Split Bomb to do 30 to the Ludi and the Lombre? Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he's already gone down that route to begin with, I think that's pretty respectable. So pay to retreat. We do get the energy on, but now it's 1 prize for 1 prize, effectively, which is not the best of trades for Leo. It does get the cast form down, so at least he keeps the Delta Rainbow, which is pretty good. Strength Charm is unnecessary, but I guess we could just get it out of the deck. I mean, maybe Pepper's pointing that out. It's like, you really don't need that, dude. Get another Ludi. I would have liked to have seen the Strength Charm on the bench Ludicolo, to be honest. Or what's going to be a Ludicolo. Because as it stands, you're over damaging anyway. Knockoff isn't quite enough because Executor's 80 HP, so Knockoff is still only doing 70. So there's no benefit to having Strength Charm on right now. Yep, do get the knockout taken. They're discarding the charm. Make sure the prize gets taken here. Just hopping in real quick whilst I'm, because Matt's on a break right now. Make sure you take your prize, Leo, because you did just, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, I was discussing, sorry, I didn't take it immediately because I realized I didn't need a Strength Charm.
Yeah.
Because I thought his Executor had 100 health, but it had 80.
No, that's fine.
Like,
I was talking about that myself as well, actually, because again, Matt's away at the moment, so I've got a bit of a break in our game. So I've been, looking at this one as well, and I was like, okay, Strength Charm's excessive, and you realized it as well. Good to know. Anyway, I'll leave you to it.
Alright, thanks.
Just wanted to make sure. We're softcore playing judge on this one at the moment, so we might as well actually go in and, make sure that things are proceeding as they should. Just trying to keep most of the board respectively visible, whilst also, my own hand is here. I guess I could probably just put my hand face down on the table whilst they're doing this, but honestly, with the way the Zoom stuff is, this is fine anyway. So here, what do you use with the sharing is the thing. You don't have to use anything, but I imagine we probably still will see something. So yeah, now we are seeing the last. The last is you count the number of prizes which are left in the game, so it's only a hold on last for 11 now, not for 12. Which is still obviously really good, but it's like when you get down to late game and both players are at 2 prizes left or something, then hold on last is not very good. So you need to make sure you get it early. Looks like there were no energy taken there whatsoever, so either just none found or potentially just none were wanted there. It's possible, both answers are possible. So let's see, Transceiver can get a thing out of the discard, which is going to be the Mentor. We might see not Castform, Chime Echo come down here now. Yeah, the Hole on Lake is another stadium that I considered myself for my own deck, because Delta Call is just very nice in general. Lets you just use your early game to search for other parts for the deck. Oh. Okay, so a couple of minutes ago, Matt said he's still AFK, but can't problems. So we'll preside over this game for now, and if we need to switch, we will switch. I think we're in a pretty positive spot in this game at the moment anyway, but that's not really the point. We don't want to ding that out. So the Ray comes down here instead. Definitely can understand that. Rayquaza's not going to get his bone... No, it is going to get his bonus stuff right now. It's only... Leo is ahead on prizes, so it actually takes less. It would have. It no longer does. But while Leo is ahead on prizes, the Rayquaza doesn't require Colorless on its attacks. So it's an extremely solid Pokemon, to be honest. It's a shame because that actually would have been the main thing we would have wanted in terms of lightning attackers for the deck I'm playing today. I would have played one Ray if I had it. So I'm just replying back to Matt now. So we do now have an Electabuzz in play, which is really good. Let's see what Leo wants to do from here. It's a tough spot. If you don't have double rainbows, even if you do, this Latios is 100 HP, which is just a little bit too big for a double rainbow Ludicolo to get through. This is one of the problems I have noticed. You do need to discard for that, Leo. Hopefully they catch that before too long. I may have to go in myself here. Let's see. Just double checking, did you discard for the farmer, Leo?
Oh yeah, I need to discard too. Discard,
Okay. Yeah, Matt's AFK with cat problems at the moment, so I'm again just on the other bit just now, but if I'll probably play one of you guys when we're done.
His cat was sick earlier, I heard sneezing.
Yeah, so that's fine. Like I say, and I'll try and not disturb you too much on the thing here, but if I'll just deafen up in here, and then if I need to come in, I'll come in. It's nice to still be able to hear them as well, so maybe I could just mute instead, but then all of my thought processes just get interrupted because they can't hear me, and I can, So I think it's probably better if we just, have it going solo here. So in that case, because we are probably going to be a while, let's go ahead and sit this down here. So we've actually got full viewing of the room here. That's probably best. You can see everything at like the best angle here. Yeah, this is looking pretty rough from Leo's side. He doesn't have a lot of space to set new attackers up. He doesn't have any energy acceleration to set new attackers up. Latios itself is doing 60 per turn, which is one-shotting these Electabuzz over here. Thankfully, this is not one that has the Elekid underneath it, but that is still taking a prize every turn. his main attacker has been weakened to the point where a Rayquaza Snipe will actually take it out, because it does 50 to the thing with a power or a body. So all it would take is a manual attach plus the Delta Rainbow in order to actually go ahead and just snip it from the discard at the moment, or from the not the discard, the bench. So we're seeing the last. That Hold on Last has done a lot of work for Pepper here. Like, he failed it once, but yeah, that is 6 energy over 3 uses, which is quite good. So yeah, his Ray will have to pay Lightning Colorless in order to do its attack here, but if he does it, Latios has got 0 retreat. So you free retreat to the Ray, and you can hit the 60 damaged Ludicolo for 50 with Rayquaza and take the final knockout here. But it looks like we're seeing Milotic get powered up instead. That's interesting. I guess wanting to keep the one prize race going here. I like the snipe potential though, especially because this Lotad also has a power, so it also gets hit by Ray for 50. So I kind of like going in aggressive with Rayquaza personally, but I mean, like, almost everything on that bench gets hit. 60 HP is a little bit too much for the Electabuzz to get one shot, mind you. But it's probably still fine. Maybe he doesn't have the energy for it though. Did he not pick up a cast form though? Maybe I'm thinking too many turns behind. I'll take a look actually. What's in the discard with it? Because I think that maybe there's a cast form in the discard. There is not. So yeah, maybe just didn't see that line, or just again doesn't want to go too aggressive. Either way is possible, for sure. Man, I'm still going back to Leo's issues with the Electabuzz line here, and having to bench 2 of them before getting Elekid down, and that's honestly one of the main reasons why I only played a 1-1. Space was of course another one. I wanted to make sure that I had enough deck space for what I needed otherwise, but like, the problem with playing too many of them is that you end up having to start with the Electabuzz or something, or in this case bench them just so you can draw cards with the cast form, and then you're unable to get any Elekid underneath them. So they end up just sitting there as being useless bench pieces that could be taken advantage of. Yep, so picking up one, there is one Electabuzz on the bench that has been evolved, so we're getting one hit from that. Also, they're only 60 HP too, so they are pretty frail when it comes to, even when it comes to support stuff. Porygon 2 and Delcatty next set again have got 70, for example. Macargo is at 80. It is relatively mobile at just 1 energy to retreat, but you're never going to actually attack with an Electabuzz unless you are somehow shut out from any other attack. Like Safeguard or something, but even then it's not an EX, so Safeguard. But like, if your deck is all EX or something otherwise, or, you know, damage from evolved Pokemon is nulled or whatever. Maybe there's a rogue Camerupt or something, or the Dewgong going around where your damage is cut by 40 because you're all deltas. Swift cuts through that, so maybe then, but even then it's only 30, it's not enough to put a dent, a meaningful dent anyway, in these sorts of Pokemon. Yeah, I just don't see what Leo can do without having energy acceleration. Like, you would need a scramble energy plus a strength charm here to get the knockout, and that would do it. But then what do you do from there? I think the Ray being lightning in a all lightning weak matchup is just a little bit too much to handle here. Cyclone energy is interesting. It forces out the active to something of Pepper's choosing. So He definitely has tools to go in. Yeah, just going with a Ray, and now this snipes the Ludi on the bench, and that's probably all she wrote. Because that's the... yeah, it's only one energy that's on the board at the moment. That's really the difficulty. That's something I've been consistently finding hard to work around with all of these decks, is that even 2 energy attacks can sometimes just be too slow. Yeah, we have it. There. And then we should see the 50 on the Ludicolo on the bench to take it out. Because once again, we will reread the Ray. Choose one of the opponent's Pokemon, do 30 damage to that Pokemon. If you choose a Pokemon that has any Pokepowers or Pokebodies, of which the Ludicolo has got Overzealous, you do 50 instead of 30, which will knock it out. And that is probably all she wrote. Because that also applies to the Lotad, so if the Lotad can't evolve, then it's just going to do 50 there as well, and that's going to snipe kill that. And then all of this time you'll be able to get stuff like attached with the Flygon and whatnot, so you should be able to get the other Rainbow or a Cast Form down. In order to get the 2 Lightning and 2 Colors, you would need to do 70 to the active, so I think the game is immediately over if this Lotad doesn't evolve, but even if it does, I can't really see how you go from there. There is another one coming down, which is good, but it is still going to suffer the same fate. But that's okay, in a way, because it's like at least you have one more option here. So now we draw 4, which is good. Rare Candy is nice. The Ludicolo still gets 2-shot, though. If you can get like that plus a Lombre, maybe? There we go. Okay, so he's gotten everything as protected as possible here. The Lombre does not have a power. The other one was benched, yeah, so they're just discussing. It's like, how did you get that down? That Lotad was in play for like 6 turns. The Ludi was Rare Candied, so it's still not amazing, because that Ludicolo will still get 2-shot, as we've said, but at the very least this gives some protection. This might give some time for the other Lombre to get powered up first. I don't know if there's going to be enough time, though. Ray gives up 2 prizes, though, so that is something to consider. That Rayquaza does give up a significant amount of prizing, but then look at Pepper's board. He's got 1 EX that is already fully ready and will clean up any damage that Ray does to the Ludi. He's got Milotic, which is 1 energy away from attacking. He's got Flygon, which is 1 energy away from attacking. Takes less damage, but I don't think that matters in this situation. Milotic also gets 1-shot by Fire Punch, though, which is very ironic, but you know. Ludicolo can 1-shot Milotic so long as the Latios stays in play. I just don't think there's enough time without the acceleration factor that the Flygon is providing to keep up in this race here. So TV reporter, discard the TV reporter. I don't like this. I don't think you put this down until you are ready to attack with it, because it's just going to take more damage here. If I'm Pepper, I think I actually hit 50 on the new Ludicolo this next turn, and just have everything set up for Flare, Swift, or Ice Wing to, or is it Ice Wing? The second attack on, no, it's Hydro Splash. Ice Barrier is the other thing. You just set it up so that the Ludicolos are both taken down by the, yeah. Because I think you can be okay giving up 3 prizes here so long as your response is take a knockout every turn. And your response absolutely can be, because you have several things for it. Warpoint is also a curious one. I don't actually know if I like this, but it does force Leo into a bit of an uncomfortable situation here. I almost feel like I would have rather waited. But then again, actually thinking again about it here, this is still fine because Ray can hit the active Ludi to do the 100 damage with its first attack. Doesn't even need any more energy on it, so I think it's okay regardless. It just looks a bit weird. But the Latios has got no retreat, so it takes 60 here. You 0 retreat back to the Rayquaza and one-shot the active, because you hit for weakness with active, right? Unless I'm misremembering. Yeah, don't apply weakness and resistance for benched Pokemon, but active Pokemon, which you are allowed to hit with this thing, it is choose one of the opponent's Pokemon, you are allowed to hit active, and that will hit for weakness. Oh, Fighting Energy is also not playable here, right? Because this thing takes a fire to attack, so you can't even attack with a Ludicolo this turn if you don't have the right energy. Is there any reason you wouldn't draw with the... Curious. I wonder if there's any reason why you wouldn't draw with the Electabuzz first. Well, at the very least you can switch with this, which is good. I don't know if he did draw. Maybe he drew with the Electabuzz and I just missed it. You guys will probably know more than I do that way, but because I was too busy on my own. That's one of the things, probably why I like, as much as I like doing commentary, it's probably one of the reasons why I wouldn't be as good at commentary as the guys who actually do casting for the Pokemon Company, because I end up going a little bit too deep in the theory part and I sometimes miss the stuff that's going on at the time. I'm not sure you really need this amount here. I think I would have just gone in with the Flygon this turn myself, if you were going to retreat the Latios. Because you don't need to use Ray to attack here. You want to save the Ray so that you can use the Sky High Claws. But okay, if you just stick with the Latios in the active, that is fine too. So this guy comes in, he's gonna hit the Ray, not the Ray, the Latios to get KO'd here. Hopefully, there's only 6 cards you pull from this now. Why is the deck being searched? That is not what it does. There may have been a fundamental misunderstanding about how Hold On Last works here. Uh-oh. Okay. Seems like Matt is back, so...
But I assume you were just watching and doing things.
Sorry, say again?
He's on death mute right now. And,
yeah, I did see the
Oh,
message just then. Oh, have I got to lower your volume down now because you're on the mobile bit too loud?
Sorry.
That's fine. It's all good. Just
It won't let me
Finished
cut
here
because
anyway, because
the deck is too small.
pretty sure Leo has no way out of the Rayquaza
No,
Revenge
just-
KO here.
I'm just going through the formality of it. So yeah, let's do that. And I will...
Alright, I'll switch back over.
knock
Sure.
off for KO.
Knockoff
with,
does not.
Yep.
and, yeah, Leo's having a rough time of it over there.
Yeah, I mean, Pepper's deck seems very good.
It's pretty strong, yeah. It's difficult to play though. It's maybe not quite as much as an EV tier, but it's a Ross Cawthorn deck. It's going to be difficult to play, right? Obviously, it's a little bit changed from what Ross had because you've kind of got to do with what you've got. But you know, this is the guy that came up with the Truth deck, right? As the thing, his decks are not always, but very often complicated to play, if not necessarily outright control type stuff, but just hard to master, right? Yep.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't blame him on stuff there, but it is very strong when you actually get stuff going proper for it. I think if you didn't have the Dog Trio, you'd probably be in a lot of trouble against it.
Yeah.
Because the Ray is very
auto
good.
wins.
Dugtrio doesn't save you against Dragonite though, so
Yeah.
because it's only damage, right? It's not damage counters as well. I think the only time that's ever happened is Machoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
That spots counters, so yeah. Or like Unknown G or something, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of stuff that prevents effects of attacks, so that would be good enough against.
Yeah.
Them,
But then I just hit it somewhere
Okay.
else instead, right? I don't
Yeah.
think there's many blanket ways of removing effects of attacks, including, on benched Pokemon specifically.
So either. Okay. So, cool.
I guess that's the other thing. Claw Fossil has to specifically be damaged, right?
Yeah.
In order to... Yeah, so damage counters even gets past that too. Oh, you haven't played one this game. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it's like if
Alright,
Claw
so
Fossil is damaged by an attack, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't reversed those.
I'm pretty sure you haven't, no. I think you went dual ball and then got the 2 heads and then was like, we need to take a break for unwell cats, which is a very good thing to take a break for.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he's. I think he's. Anyway, I don't know if it's really even right to reversal. I feel like I need to deal with this guy.
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Chimico would be okay. Just to not have free energy. I mean, it's how much you discard it. I imagine not a lot.
I think there's only 1 energy in the discard at the moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Groudon that was terrible against you, a couple of supporters, a couple of rare candies because I had the one big turn with that. And then, yeah, just 1 energy at the moment.
Tell you what, I'm gonna go for it.
Sure.
See what happens.
Alright, what would you like?
Yeah, I'll take the Chimico.
Okay, seems
Go in.
reasonable.
Teleport Blast for knockout.
Yeah,
and
because it's weak to
then-
Psychic, so...
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there's not really a reason not to put the Dragonite in, right? Because that is kind of the main threat level at the moment. So I suppose that is what we shall do. Let's see. Let's use the Electabuzz here.
Did I smooth over?
I think that...
might-
I don't... If you did, it would have been before the dual ball, which would have been very weird, right?
Oh, true.
Because you didn't play a
Do you
supporter
mind
for the
if I-
turn.
Do you mind if I smooth?
Yeah, go for it. I shouldn't at this point, but go for it. We're only playing for fun, so...
I don't know if there's even anything. Oh, yeah. Okay. But for sure is something I should pull.
Yeah, I'm imagining there probably should be. Nah, it's all
I
good.
guess You're right, I didn't support you, but.
Yeah, we're not playing this for being super serial anyway, so I'm alright with that this time. Right. Where do I go from here is the thing.
Keep bonking.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to... I mean, because you've got 50 HP, I should probably be roaring here, right? Considering output is more reasonable for that. It's mostly just a case of... What do we do outside of that? Yeah, this probably makes sense to do. Will Adventurer, I'll discard the Chikorita so I can draw 4 here. Okay. So now it's just a case of when is that going to be relevant? The fact is you've got 2 of those down is a little annoying. Let's go... Yeah, I'll bench another Chico. I almost wonder if just Razor Leaf is better here. It seems like it shouldn't be, because then Reversal comes up. Yeah, it probably does. So I will... Does it matter if I heal 10 off of this thing as well? That I have 90 HP left, so you can't kill me in 2 hits anyway. I haven't seen Strength Charm. I'd be surprised, but no, we'll use Meganium on itself, and then we're gonna Dragon Roar and put 3 on the Nose Pass here. I don't have to put them all on the same thing, but I want to this time, considering what else you've still got on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is only 40 HP. That is the one vulnerability here. I'm not a fan of that, but then again, diverts attention, so maybe it's okay. What would we like?
Well, I mean, this always comes out.
Yeah, because
Maybe
Zero
not.
Retreater, yeah. Saves you from having to discard the fossil and play as well.
Throw a Grump.
Yep.
And, something else maybe? Something here. Touch. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Really needs that, but it's so tempting to just take an extra prize. That's
Right?
the easiest prize I'm gonna get.
Yeah, right?
This pass maybe goes down. Maybe. Throw a fossil.
Okay, just a 1.
Yeah, I'll flip it.
Okay. Not
Okay,
this
all
time.
that.
Well, that
makes that a lot
simplifies it a bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Smooth over.
Yeah, I guess you hadn't already done that, yeah. Okay.
Teleport west. To fossil.
Okay, that goes up to that. Alright, we will draw. Right, okay. This is where it gets interesting then. I guess we could just like take the threat off the board, it's probably alright. Kinda curious as to what you'll do with that though. What point?
That is interesting. Well, let's see. Makes sense.
I might be using these at incorrect times, but I think it's pretty good based on what I'm using right now.
Huh. Yeah, I don't love that. Maybe? I don't know. I think this missile is the only good choice. This Nose Pass gives you even more damage to play with. Is there any way you wouldn't take a knockout from this? I guess if you F it by fossil? I don't think you would do that. Okay, so I assume you're gonna Dragon Roar. Something will die. Okay, we'll give you the fossil.
Sure. Go for that. Yeah, might as well pay the retreat. Let's go cast form onto the Meganium here. I'll use the Meganium to attach to itself. I have a feeling this might end up coming up at some point because it's a 1-prizer on my otherwise 2-prize board, right? And yeah, we're going to Dragon Roar, knock out the Grumpig as well. Because this is a 40 HP fossil, not a 50, so...
Okay. Now what?
I figured I force you into a lose-lose spot there, because you either give me something I deafen, or you give me something that I roar and knock out your attacker.
Fossil, scramble, solid rage.
Ooh, that's pretty good, yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, good. Full on farmer.
Yep.
Discard. The trio. Sure. Yeah. I can't choose him. I think.
You can, because it's discarded before the rest of it's applied. So if that's it, you have to. If it's like a third one, then that's all you had. But obviously you've got Voltorb and Lapras and like cast form in there, so you don't have to, but you can because the discard happens before anything else. That's the important bit. It's not like TV Reporter where you do the thing and then you discard. It's a discard before any effect happens, because if you can't discard, you can't play the card.
Mm-hmm. Okay, smooth over.
Yep. Even if I did Nurture Heal this, it wouldn't have mattered, so I'm not too bothered about stuff there, so that's okay. Respectable enough spot for me. It's also still kind of awkward right now, because I guess, yeah, you can probably just like bounce that back, but it will be turned off after this turn, because I'm going down 2 more prizes, right? So I think this is actually still okay for me, no matter, despite being a knockout out of quote-unquote nowhere.
That's fine. Teleport west.
Yep. And then what's getting switched in?
Ah.
You should. You need to switch. No. Is it a me?
Yeah. I definitely don't want to.
Yeah,
switch,
you needed
but,
to switch before taking the prizes, by the way.
Oh. Ooh, okay.
You're not supposed to know what.
Awesome.
You're not supposed to have known what you're taking off the prizes before you switch.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize. I think I'll try not to think about it. I don't think it matters, but if I try to think about whether it matters or not, I might find that it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it probably might, but you know, whatever. So that's 4 prize penalties in this game.
Okay, so yeah, this will be a really interesting game.
It's an intriguing spot, that's for sure.
I don't feel like I'm toast anymore. Just maybe, probably. I feel like you're very much still in it and maybe ahead, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure I am still ahead in this, but at least the prize race is not one-sided anymore. Yeah, but I think I am still very much winning this game.
Okay. What the heck are we gonna do? So if you send this guy, 50 health is better. If you send this guy, be better off saving the other one. I mean, I think we're just gonna do some quick math here. Me can heal though, so
Yeah, that's the thing. I have 150 HP
4,
on all the big stuff, and I can heal.
60.
So
So probably gonna have to heal 4 times 5, 200. Then you could heal 5 times. Or I think you can heal 5 times. Let's see how much grass discarded. A bunch. Wow, 5. Probably a farmer though. I think I'm just gonna go with the root fossils here.
okay. Thinking what needs to be done then. Yeah, we'll probably go there. Alright, we will draw. Let's just clear it out of the way first. We will windstorm the Solid Rage. Just in case, because I don't think you're going to be
You want
taking...
the balloon
Oh
berry
yeah,
as
and the
well?
berry as well, right. I forgot that you had 2 tools in play. I am not used to Windstorm hitting more than 1 target right now, I'll be totally honest with you. It has not come up at all in... But then again, that's because the one game I've played it that way has been Pepper's like Porygon 2 thing that bounces all the tools back, so getting more than 1 out of that deck is not happening. We will Farmer, discarding Mentor. And proceed to make people very sad. Because we are going to grab that. We've got like so many energy in the discard now because of that. Cast Form can be the other one. I'd like Chimecho, but I don't have bench space. Those can all go back in. Rare Candy for the Meganium. Do the search. So I probably should have just kept them out, but whatever. So we will grab these right back out. One of them was the bottom of the deck, actually. I could have Electabuzz for that if I knew. Would have been pretty good. And I do have a second one, so we're going to just put Dragonite straight back down.
Nice.
Right. I don't think that's actually going to be exactly what I do with it this turn, though. But I do have another... Thank you, very loud motorbike outside. I do have another neat little trick here. Power Tree. So, because I don't have any special energy in my discard at the moment, I'm just going to Training Court one of the grass back to the hand.
Cool.
I would say I'm just going to double check, but I know I don't have any special energy in this deck. Cast Form is a Pokemon in the discard, even if it was there, so does not actually do anything here. So we will manually attach 1 here. We will Meganium attach 1. Actually, you put up the 40 HP, guys, so we'll just Meganium attach to the Dragonite as well. And we will use Delta Reduction for the knockout. Now, this is a really stupid wording on this thing. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done by attacks from the defending Pokemon is reduced by 30. I am pretty sure that is an effect which is applied to the Pokemon that it attacked, not a blanket thing on your side, right? Because if it was, it'd be like Flareon's Flame Screen, right? Where it's like damage done to Flareon EX is reduced.
I was playing around this like it was...
I feel like that's what it's supposed to be. I will...
Damage done by attacks from...
I will go ahead and briefly pull up the compendium stuff, because I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that is an effect which is on
you're
your
definitely
guy.
right. In modern Pokemon, that is how you said it is how it would be interpreted, but for all I know, it could be different. So.
Yeah, so companion. Yeah, it's really stupid.
Afraid, like, how the heck am I gonna deal with that?
Yeah, I know, right? I would have been using it this entire time if it was that easy. Delta reduction. The correct. Okay. The correct wording for Delta Reduction attack should be, this is fucking genius, so it needs to be errata, right? During your opponent's next turn, any damage done by attacks on the defending Pokemon is reduced by 30 before applying weakness and resistance. This means the effect of Delta Reduction resides on the defending Pokemon, not on the one performing the attack. Okay, so we're right on that, yeah. So this is unfortunately not going to reduce damage here, but that is fine.
That's good.
Helps you out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't help against the 150 HP EXs that I have on the bench, but helps you out a little bit. Although, your first task is to get a teleport blast off this turn, though, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Gotta bring something in the active first.
One moment.
God, I didn't even elect a buzz last turn either. You know what? He's done it with me. I'm gonna say afterwards. Bringing up the one card here. Yeah, there we go. I forgot about it, so sorry about that. I was thinking you were probably still around because I saw you just muted rather than mute deafen, so yeah, I freaking forgot the Electabuzz again. This is the only one of these. Yeah, no, that's 2-1 from way back. Yeah. No, I think we'll be okay at that because I don't want to overdraw here. Besides, that would be a bit too far out because I have put stuff back in the deck, etc. from there, so it would be too much of a accepted game state moment, really. But this one was just at the end of turn because I've already done everything else I want, so. Okay, so nose comes in, no energy nose, yep, smooth over. Still a lot of cards in that deck. Yeah, okay, I'll draw one. Could probably do with some stuff still. Yep, there's the fluff. Okay. Gets one basic out the deck. Yep. Yep. Let's see if you get the flip. All right. What are we bringing in? Alright, Dragonite, fair enough. Ooh, yeah, get rid of that Windstorm. That's reasonable. Oh. Double Rainbow is in the deck, okay. So what are we using? The Blast, okay. Fair enough. Double Rainbow in the deck too, huh? Okay. I guess it makes some sense. Not sure how much I like it, but sure. Alright. We will use the Meganium. I will bounce one for Cast Form. Just thinking if there's any real reason not to just roar. Not really. We'll Dragon Roar and knock out the Nose Pass as well for the 30 HP remaining.
RIP nose.
Yep. The nose no longer knows.
Stop.
Yeah, that just turns it into like a probably a 7-hit KO or something now. So.
Guess we do.
Yep, Mentor and Lynette. Interesting.
Not all of us have a playset of transceivers.
I mean, fair.
But yeah, I did consider it like one that. Or one
Yeah, I mean,
It's
that
neat.
just makes me think you've got to have at least 5 total between them then, because otherwise it's not, like, I don't know why. I mean, discard, I suppose, but it's not that painful. I don't know why you wouldn't just play Mentor over, like, as many as you got, because the set did have it. I didn't pull it from the set, but it did have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, because I got, like,
that.
oh, so fail entirely, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so now I can actually read it. Yeah, if it's damaged by an opponent's attack, damage counters is not the same as damage, though. Is it? Does that? Am I gonna have to go look this up as well now? Did I keep? I did keep the compendium open. What is the name of the power? Jagged Stone. All right. Okay, yeah. They've got it from Judgment, which is Dusclops' like 5 damage counter thing. Would Dusclops take damage from Claw Fossil's Jagged Stone, Pokebody? No, there is no damage to trigger the effect. It is just KO'd. So there is no damage if I use Dragon Roar on a Claw Fossil.
Yeah.
Which I figured would be the case, but I wanted just to be sure there. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I considered not playing Double Rainbow, but it's
I mean, it seems really bad for this deck, if I'm being totally honest with you. I can sort of understand why, but yeah, please don't take a prize for something that's got 130 HP left.
I will just go for a Teleport Blast.
Yep. Sure, okay. We will draw. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and use the Meganium here. Don't really see why I wouldn't. Gotta keep this thing out of range of Solid Rage, apparently. We will... Don't even think you're getting that Nose Pass back in play at this point, but I guess I could maybe protect against it anyway. Yeah, we'll attach one to this Meganium just to have some sort of insurance there. Power Tree number 2, and we'll grab the 1 energy that's left in there. And I'm tempted to split the damage actually. So it would be reasonable. No, let's just roar and put the 4 on the Grumpig here.
Big.
Yep.
Smooth over.
Four, five, six, 7, 8. So still a few to go.
Now what? Alright, teleport blast.
Okay. Do that. So we will draw. Okay, I think we can probably take some time out from this one at this point. Although, it's not as if you've got a lot to go on with it. It's more just what I want to do, really. Heal it to that, goes up at that. Yeah, let's Meganium this thing. And Dragon Roar the other Grumpig for 40 here.
Very well. Okay. Cool. So we got possible. We got a slug now. Smooth over.
Yeah, I was just looking. I did not misplay with Power Tree. I do not have any in the discard right now. Kind of important to note. Beep beep.
Yeah, it's dinner time for cats.
Yeah.
There's two pop up. This point. No. Just. Alright, that's smooth over. Teleport blast.
Sure, so we're up at 12. Okay, we'll draw. Pay, not all of them, thank you. There we go. Pay 2 to retreat. So this guy, yeah, does have a 2 retreat. So go in, power tree, and nurture. Not just one. Sometimes we've not had to deal with double digits on these things very often, have we? So it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Just seeing if there's anything else that's worth doing. Probably not. We'll raise a leaf to knock out the fossil.
Okay, fossil.
Yep.
Smooth over. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I guess so. What the- Oh.
There's only so many of these I should let you take back, you know.
That's yeah. I guess
Like I'm not trying to be a bot about it this time, but this is something you have put down and left there for a minute, so last chance on that.
Thanks.
There's only so much blatant cheating I can allow.
I guess we'll just see how it goes. Alright, so the teleport pass. Just go back to the fossil again.
Okay, so we'll do that. We'll draw. Power tree. I think we're gonna nurture here to get this down 10. And this should be the last mysterious fossil, I think, so we'll just take the knockout on that here.
Let her go smooth over.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort this real quick actually, because there's a lot of stuff in here at this point, and it's what fossils have gone are actually very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the claws, all the roots, so there's 2 fossils left. I should easily be able to get through that. If it was Polytoad EX, I'm pretty sure I'd just beat it because it's weak to grass, right? So, and also I just played Deafen the whole time. Okay, Pepper, what the fuck are you doing?
Trying to give you a cast.
I'm gonna go. Pepper, what are you doing?
I was showing if I accidentally misclicked. Sorry. I was didn't know it.
It's still the same game y'all been playing.
Yeah, it's still the same game. Matt takes 600-minute turns, so even with a deck that has 1 action per turn, he still takes 600 minutes on it, so
He has to consider every possible outcome.
Yep.
Like Doctor Strange.
I mean,
Teleport. Blast.
honestly, every possible outcome here is not winning the game, so I don't know what we're actually like waiting on here. But okay, we will draw.
Meganium, Yep, 2 Meganiums, 2 different.
Yeah, there's one from the new set too. So yeah, so obviously 50. I mean, you still don't kill this thing though. I guess could have to expect another solid rage here. What is it, like 10 on this? Doesn't even fucking do anything. Yeah, screw it. I'll pay retreat. Pay retreat, go in, nurture this back with the power tree, getting the energy, and yeah, I don't care. We'll hit this for 40 with delta reduction. I don't care.
The look on the Piglet's face.
I know.
Fossil.
Yep.
Like,
Oh, that fossil will crit.
Oh yeah.
I hate it so much. You gotta kill 20 Pokemon just to get one prize.
Smooth over.
And I think that is about how many I have gone through right now as well, but it's fine.
Let's see. So, Dragonite. KO. Then. There's still on that point. Yeah. Really down. Okay, so smooth over.
I mean, this probably would have been over without the extended break in the middle as well. Possibly. I actually don't even know at this point because, you know.
That.
I need to change my spread back to 15.
Oh, done. Has.
Okay. We will draw. Power Tree. Use that to heal the Dragonite with the Meganium. Go ahead.
He pass?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a plan behind it, don't worry.
That's like 14.
Do the smooth over. Yes. Pass.
Okay. And that should hopefully be enough. We'll Meganium to that, get that down to 80. Yep. Pay retreat. We will Dragon Roar and put 2 each on these two, and then the last one doesn't matter. I guess we'll just put 1 on the thing there. So these are both up at 60. That's going to be at 10. I get my prize. Solid Rage doesn't kill, and yeah, this is not a mysterious fossil, so I can just knock out the last 2 from there.
Piercing good does do a job on this deck and trick, doesn't it?
There is one way that I'm a little concerned on it, but yep, we'll Windstorm that away.
Handle. Smooth over.
Yep.
Combustion.
Okay, yep, that's what I thought. Okay, that's fine with me. We will draw. We will go. Which way around do we want to do this? There's a few. It's just just thinking which way's easiest to go here. Let's do. How many is in here? It's just the 1 right now, yeah. Oh, there's none in there. Okay, that's fine. Right, we'll pay 2. Go in. So those can go there for now. We are going to. I feel like this is probably the turn to Farmer. Just what's the discard? I guess we can just discard the Groudon here. I mean, one of them's kind of got to go back in. No, they don't, because I have a Castform in there. Right, okay. So the 2 grass, and then that, the Chico, and the Chimecho can go back. Yeah, it is going to go back. Nice. Cool. Works for me. We will Electabuzz here. Yeah, I mean, that still works out. I will use... Is there any reason to do that? I mean, I'm manually attached there, because that's fine enough. It's just, is there any reason to use this beforehand? I already have enough energy down. Just trying to... I can't see any way that you'd be able to snipe it. But I guess there's also not a reason not to... Yeah, I'll use it, but I'll go here just in case you try and, like, Gust All or something. I don't know how... Yeah, possible. And, yeah, we'll just Razor Leaf here.
Fossil. Huh. Well, okay. So we retreat, scramble,
Again, yeah.
move over.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's what I like to hear. Okay. Then, Bustion.
Sure. Okay. Sure. We can probably still work with that. Right, we'll draw Celio. For you. Bounce the energy back to there. And Delta Reduction. So now you deal, even if you double Rainbow, it's like you deal significantly less damage with this thing. I believe actually I need to double check because I think it said it was supposed to be before Weakness and Resistance, not after. Let me double check because it was one of those.
It does say before.
Oh, does it say before on this thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. Usually they don't when it's for damage beforehand, so... You know how stupid these things can be.
So what I would have to do to not lose is not let Dragonite attack, because I think if Dragonite attacks anything on my board, I lose. I don't know, I guess if he hits a fossil, I'd be okay.
Yeah, because I could have probably... No, because if I hit a fossil, then it's a 40 HP fossil, so I kill both of your Grumpig. That's what I was setting up for in the first place. So, yeah, if Dragonite attacks, you lose. You also can't use your Scramble anymore because you are ahead on prizes. So...
So I would have to make you not retreat, or Snipe Dragonite, or Hawkeye.
None of which I think you can actually do. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's none of those that you actually have. Prove me wrong, because you probably can, but prove me wrong.
I mean, you're almost certainly right, but will work.
Okay.
Psyshock.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Alright, so I have to flip 6 heads and I win. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that is a thing you can do.
Or just one head, because...
Fucking bullshit, okay. That is incredibly annoying. Alright, Chikorita.
I mean,
guess it might
you've
as
won
well.
at this point. Like,
I mean,
if I win off
fire
the
energy
point
away
flip,
from
I won't really
game.
feel like I won. But... Oops.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Or if you can make him deck out. He's got 7 left.
He's got playset of transceiver.
-1, but yeah.
Karma.
I have 3 transceiver.
No, I meant you can make Matt deck out.
The game will be over before 8 turns.
I'm just saying.
Well, if Cal gets to attack, he wins the game. So there's no reason that would ever happen. So
But
and
what if he doesn't get to attack?
That's it. Yeah, he's got to flip. He's got to
If
flip
I
all the heads in
flip-
a row here.
yeah, if I just Psyshock Meganium to death, I'll win before I run out of cards. And if I fail, then Cal will kill me before I run out of cards. There's I don't think there's a way to pick out sense here.
Also, any fire energy, it's retreat to cargo for KO, so...
Alright, speaking
Uh,
of smooth over,
Yeah.
well,
Is there any point in smoothing over?
I already did, but not on the second one. But we're done.
Yeah,
here.
that's what I meant in general. It is the only way to win.
It can matter if you have a draw card in hand, because then you smooth over, draw the top, smooth over again.
So I could have any number of things in my deck. There's certainly things like if I had a Pokemon catcher, I would just do that.
I would also DQ you because that's not in the format right now. Reversal, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
know,
yeah. Okay,
You used the wrong flip to gust card, DQ!
let's flip for game, right?
Two.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, 5
That's
more.
fucking fair, isn't it?
4 more.
Alright, we've got Bayleaf. Unfucking believable. We will go there. I'm gonna have to transceiver the farmer here, I guess.
Got a corpse.
Yep. So let me just find where it is. So we get there, which we do have. I'm gonna get the discard in a second, just because I think we're just gonna discard Bayleaf off of that. So we do that into that. Doesn't really matter too much outside of just having cards at this point.
Yeah. What a game.
Did you run any switches?
2 warp points, which are there. Although I shouldn't really be telling that at this point, but you know, whatever. Probably could be prized too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, that's combustion for game.
Fucking horseshit. I should
What?
not. That's just so stupid.
No, I mean I had a
Yeah,
25%
yeah.
chance to win, so
Oh, so
Fucking
you lied.
horseshit.
You actually had another way to win.
That's so
Yeah.
fucking stupid. Okay. Well, I mean,
That's kind of dumb.
there is 0 chance
That's
I
why I
should have
don't like-
lost this.
I don't like playing these type of decks because it's literally just.
I mean, all it.
yourself.
Yeah, just flip heads. That's all you've got to do.
I mean,
Yeah,
well,
whatever.
it's made to do that, but it just has to instantly have a flip to pose attack,
Yeah, whatever.
which is obnoxious, which is
I can't even say good game, to be honest. I'm sorry, because that absolutely wasn't.
yeah, you hate to see it in there.
I had that game completely guaranteed won. It's just, it's the same. You did this with Psy with the Houndoom thing too. It's like if you flip any tails in that game, like anyway, you've lost straight away. So, yeah.
Alright, I'm about
Focus
to
on my
have,
side.
do some studying and I'll
Yeah, good
Probably
luck.
Yeah.
hop back on. Probably hop back on tonight to do some trading and deck building.
You have time for one game, Leo?
Mentally, not really.
Yeah, never mind.
I
I
mean,
can
you've
come
just
back
made
and
me
play
spend
another
2
game.
hours on that one game, so no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've
And
wasted my
I'm not
time
winning
enough.
any.
I'm sorry.
I'm not winning any games against you, man. I'm sorry. This deck is not built to handle all of that. So I'm not
Okay.
gonna waste
Yeah, I
my
guess.
time.
I guess you
I'd
would
rather
know
build
if you
something
had
else and see if I have a better chance.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. And yeah, Cal will just obliterate me. The problem with my deck is if I don't get, and I told Pep this, if I don't get Ludicolo attacking within 3 turns, it's not gonna be a good game for me because it's I don't have the acceleration of energy that y'all do.
Yep.
So that's basically what it comes down to.
That's the bit that I noticed as well. It's like, yeah, you've got no acceleration in there, so there's no combat potential whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That needs DREs, I'll be quite honest.
I like the deck just because Ludicolo has really cool artwork.
Yeah.
And he's fairly strong when I play against y'all because I think everyone here is using, except Matt, but everyone's using EX.
It's a good card, definitely.
Yeah, so
I-
I don't think
it
anyone's
would-
really used it.
That would put some work in against Cal's deck too. I mean, he can
Yeah,
just
but what
use
I'm
straight
saying is
fighting the game, but
I haven't started fast except for one game, and that was the game. I think that was my first game with Pep. I won that game because I had Ludicolo out turn 1 with energy on him.
Yeah, I
So-
got blown out by that. I also got blown out by pressure I couldn't handle because.
Yeah. It's definitely neat, and you could say is relatively okay with this, but the one thing you never got to see, of course, because it's bad against the whole fossil thing, is that Groudon is kind of a monster and a half.
yeah,
You never got to
Completely
see it
stuffed us in
because
the
you couldn't see it, because why would I even try and attack with that thing into fossils and everything? But no, Groudon one-shots Ludicolo. It's 100 damage exactly, which is what Ludicolo has as HP. So...
Yeah.
And then it goes back down to 1 energy, so it takes 20 less damage. You'd have to do 120 to KO this thing, without including, like, healing and stuff between. So it kind of trades with the thing that is designed to beat this deck, right? Because it just one-shots it. And I have my engine, and this deck doesn't have an engine to fall back on, so... Yeah.
I might turn this into a 4-corner deck of deltas. To
I've
try to
considered that kind of
try to compensate. I was looking at is it Ampharos map? The thing that lets me excel. What was that thing
Ampharos
that
just
it
turns
was a card that we were looking at yesterday?
yeah, Ampharos turns everything into a delta.
Yes, Ampharos, yeah. So I was thinking maybe I can couple that with Pokemon that can search other Pokemon, other Delta Pokemon specifically. I don't know of anything off the top of my head, but
There's
there
the Pharaoh. Delta Pharaoh is once per turn, search a Delta Poke.
Delta Fear. Okay. Does he do at least 50 damage?
No, he does
No,
like
he
30.
doesn't.
He is not an attacker.
Okay.
Yeah. I've looked at that. I do think a Delta Corners has a bit of potential because Melodic. I think it would rely pretty heavily on Melodic. Because Melodic is just a perfect corners mon. It's got a powerful support power. It hits 60 on its type, and it's a stage 1.
Yeah, but I have to trade it for Ludicolo.
You'd have to get it. These aren't going to be easy to get a hold of.
I think there
Executor
may have
could
been
be
my
a
other
def-
problem.
good call.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm looking at it now. There may have been my other problem. I was kind of thinking you would have a second solid rage there, so I maybe didn't attack with the Dragonite as much as I could have near the end, and just going through it with that. But obviously, I was trying to keep it out of range of the 60 kill, right? So it was just, But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think I could have done that any better, to be honest. It's just, I mean, you flip heads. That's all there is to it. And I feel like that's unfortunately a thing that gets said a lot when it comes to these things, but it's you just have to flip heads,
I mean,
and that's it.
He has 12 fossils.
Yeah, The thing is, Deafen isn't like especially amazing against putting them down because it doesn't kill the Mysterious Fossil, and even then it's like the whole point is to spread damage beyond it. So honestly, if I had the second Dragonite, this would have been a lot better in terms of that aspect. But I still figured, because I initially had just like Deoxys and Mew, I think was the other one in here, was the other sort of attacker stuff, which was fine, but then I ran out of cast form too quickly. Because you need to use the cast form as discards for like all of the stuff that way. So that's why the Dragonite ended up going in, because not for the trainer lock aspect, but because it's the most stable attacker that I can put in that isn't Meganium. Because Grass doesn't really have a lot that you can hit with otherwise, you know. There's a Venusaur, I suppose, but it's not particularly good, to be honest. Kind of tries to be Gorbis, but like bad Gorbis, so, you know. And then it's like, well, there's no basics that I could go in for it, so yeah, I'm just gonna use the Dragonite, even though it's like it's a one-of, but that one-of can sometimes be overwhelmingly tough to beat, so, you know.
Easy card.
Yeah, like I was saying, the Militic's awesome, the Executor's awesome, the Quagsire is passable in the Corners deck, because it does 60 if you get a tool on it, and it can get its own tools from discard. But then, I don't think there's a good fourth to really push it over. And in this format, I would really want to get a Psychic type attacker, because a lot of the big stuff, there's a lot of Psychic weak stuff in this format. The Executor, the Latios, like the Grumpig, Chimecho, kinda, though it's only 60 HP, so who cares?
That did come up. It got gusted by the Nosepass and knocked out, so...
Yeah,
Same thing on Pepper's Chimecho.
yeah, the Grumpig's weak to Psychic. The Muse, when the Delta Muse when if Pete's one runs that, it's weak to Psychic. Probably a bunch of other stuff I'm forgetting, but I just know it's a lot of Psychic weak things in this format.
Alright, catch y'all later.
So yeah.
Alrighty, see ya. Yeah, this, what you've got here, Cal, I think is pretty nasty.
Yeah.
It has like unlimited staying power with the farmers, which is really neat. So like anything like this that has low damage gets hit really hard just by heals.
Yeah, it's that is one of the big bits with it, but it also just outputs a lot of damage against everything else too. Like again, we never got to see the Groudon, unfortunately, because it is unplayable in this particular matchup, but we did see this midweek, and I was taking one-shots like every single time I attacked with it, right? So I think the only reason that it didn't win midweek is because I ran out of attacks for it, because I played against, I think it was your tool retrieving thing, all of which, like every Pokemon in there is 80 HP or something. So that was an odd one though, because that happened to hit like every single weakness I had, because again, I didn't have the Dragonite at that time. So that was the concession in the end, going, alright, I guess I need to put the fourth candy and the 1/1 Knight in here instead, because I really wanted to play the Alakazam. That was the main bit I wanted to try and do. But my other Meganium got prized, and that was my last attacker that I could have used that wasn't a 2-prizer. So rip. But
happens to
yeah, Quags was
the Groudon back.
yeah, Quags was the problem, because Meganium is also weak to grass too. So it's like, oh yeah, if you just solid rage that thing, then it just wins. So that was a shame. But yeah, no, like beyond that. Yeah, this Groudon one-shots everything that isn't like a stage 2, or even a lot of those can get kind of hit down. And it's just a basic, so all you need is like one Meganium plus that, right? And you're hitting for 100 every time you get a cast form out, which, you know, Mentor, as you say, Farmer to recover it. Not exactly a hard thing to do. And yeah, the fact of the Meganium Delta lets you search for more Pokemon was really a thing, because that also gets EXs, which then lets you, you know, do it in engine. It's like I have a Meganium that can search my Meganium EX and just make it so much better. So
yeah, when you
like,
farmered the Dragonite and immediately put it
yeah.
on play, I was like, oh well, I thought I was gonna get a couple turns with Dragonite not being on the board.
Yeah, you KO'd the Dragonite after like 5 turns, and then I just went, alright, rare candy Meganium, search it out, Farmer, bring it back, search it out, with the Meganium, rare candy, the fourth rare candy, and just bring it straight away again. It was like, yeah, that is what it could do. This like, well, damn. You know, as you say, I wish I had more time, but we do not. Yeah, it is really funny because it isn't in this deck for Deafen. Obviously, it's a good attack and that can help, but it really isn't in here for that. It's here for the Dragon Lore, because it's like you bypass so many things with that. I might as well show, because I'm not going to actually play it at this point, right, because, you know, we're kind of tapped out. Might as well show, like, the other idea that we had this week. This is one from Pepper, but was in my card pool, not his, so it's a bit of a dinky one in comparison. Would not have done too well against what you had there, but although Curse Powder is kind of good, so who knows. But the idea was that Feraligatr can boost the damage of Ledion, right? Because Ledion doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is a very good consistency engine, right? Like search anything you want out the deck, put the tool on it, draw 3 cards. That's kind of insane. So also Special Metal Energy maybe would have helped actually, but yeah, it's just like you get to do so much with this if you can just put the damage up just a little bit. And between that and Feraligatr, Dragoff actually would have been really strong too. So maybe this would have been better than I would have expected off it. But
yeah, I was gonna say Dragoff kind of just laughs at the concept of the hit and run deck.
Yeah, so maybe this would have been okay actually. But no, it's just like the Ledion itself is actually surprisingly good as a consistency thing, and it gets going faster than you'd expect too, because it's just a 2 energy attack, right? So
I was looking to other Ledion ideas, but with Cess, because it can actually hold Cess.
Yeah, Cessation Crystal is a thing here, but it's just like, you know.
But yeah, I haven't found a good partner for that. It'd probably have to be Bats or something, and that's just... I don't want to play that. I don't want to get yelled at. I see what happens to people that do that.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Aragi in the chat is saying that Gator was usually played with the Delta Nido Queen, and I could definitely see that, because the Queen lets you search out Pokemon every turn, right? So, and also Vengeance is very strong. But, yeah, we don't really have a lot of Nido Queen in the I think we've got...
one.
Yeah.
I have 2.
So, there may be 4 in between everyone.
Who wants it, who gets it.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe we could try and do something like that, but I have 0, so, you know, good luck, right?
Here's the thing with decks I'm looking at, only need 2.
But yeah, it's just like the whole thing of this, so I play exactly 2 draw supporters in here, because everything else is like, you just need to search, right? Castaway gets the tools, Celio gets the Ledion that gets you anything you want from the deck, so who needs draw support when your entire thing is I draw cards with my attack, right? So it's surprisingly fast, and yeah, there's a lot of bits you can do with it. Even the whole Meteor Falls plus Rage thing, because the Totodile for some reason's got Rage. Don't know why, but you know, it is a thing. So this was cool too, and if we had more time, if we didn't spend like 2 hours playing that game, then I would have probably shown this off as well. But yeah, no, that was far too long, and obviously a little bit frustrating at the end with that. But yeah, this is the kind of deck you can only get away with playing because we don't have like Houndoom or something, right? Like if I have I only have 1 Houndoom, and that's the thing with it. But if there were like, you know, more consistent trainer locking stuff around, then this kind of thing immediately dies. So it's kind of, yeah.
It's funny, Houndoom doesn't really do anything with this, at least in my testing. Because I played it against one of my test decks with Houndoom, which obviously wants to keep a small bench, but they're always going to have, you know, 2 bench guys, one being one bench guy with it being Houndoom, and if they get low on their main attacker, they need to bench another one. And it's not too terribly hard to meet 1 bench or meet 2 bench.
I guess. Kind of feels like just Warp Point plus, you know, an energy or a Fluffy Berry to retreat just kind of immediately like kills that though. But I don't know. I'm not the one who played it, obviously, so I wouldn't know, but it's just like, yeah, you can't play the fossils down, you always have to expose something that's much more valuable than that, and
you just play 1 fossil at a time, and once it gets knocked out, then your bench is small again, put another fossil, another finger boom, back to business. It works out, like you're right, that like Warp Point or any of those things will lead to a knockout, but I guess the goal is you have 6 batteries where you're okay taking or losing a prize off this stuff, as long as you can still get your fossils in throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but you have 3 attackers and that's it, really. If your Grumpigs are actually getting KO'd, which you know, can happen in that sort of bit, then you have nothing, and that's where I would see it falling. But I don't know. Again, I'm not the one who played it that way. Manectra could definitely be more of an issue though, because that is a lot faster and a lot harder to set up against. Yeah, the Mysterious Fossil's got 50 HP, but you can't even play them down when that hits. So, plus you have to get Dugtrio set up immediately there, or you just lose to a Mega Shock hitting your bench instead. So, because again, you do not have enough Grumpig to attack with more than like to recover, because you've only got 1 farmer too. So it's like, if this gets hit on the bench and dies to that, then you have nothing really to try and get it back. So
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how a game versus Trick plays out for this. There's obviously a ton of items. There's a ton of heads in hand,
but yeah, it'd be interesting enough. But like I was saying, Defen wasn't really going to be the win con there, though. I don't think so. There wasn't really going to be any way, especially when Mysterious Fossils were still in play. Maybe afterwards it could have done it, but by then it's too many have gone. So, you know, yeah.
yeah, it was interesting. I kind of felt like you had to go one way or the other, and when you were opting for the Dragon Roar, I was like, I don't know, Defen would have really hurt me that turn. But then at the same time, like, it did let you set up the, you know, the question of, can you not lose 2 guys this turn at the end? So it would be interesting to like replay that with Defen instead of Dragon Roar and just see what happens.
I mean,
for sure would have run out of fossils really fast.
The real thing was this. I didn't know there was only 1 Solid Rage in the deck. If I knew that, then I would have been Dragon Roaring more often, and I would have just KO'd the stuff beforehand. Because that was the problem. Was okay, I need to survive 60 or maybe 70 damage from, you know, like Scramble Combustion or something. And yeah, if that wasn't as much of an issue, because the Rage was already in the discard, and I could have gone with it a bit different, I guess. But you know, that's the whole thing. You don't know.
Yeah, you would have gotten 1 more Dragon Roar instead of Meganium, and then I think I was about to say then I couldn't have knocked out Meganium, but I think that was a turn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, in the end, it only comes down to coin tosses, though, which is obviously never the way you want to ding it. But hey.
Yeah, I would call your deck extremely favored versus fossils.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's like the main attack doesn't actually do it, but you know, everything else kind of does. So it's interesting for sure. There's a surprising amount of ways this can go around. So I don't know. Interesting game anyway, even if it's didn't have the best of conclusions. We can't really fault that. Not sure, maybe the war points could have been played differently as well, but because you did have another fossil in play at the time, but both times I used a war point, I forced you into a very unfavorable setup with getting the weaker fossil out, so I kind of don't even feel like that was bad. It was just yeah, it was awkward perhaps.
The other alternative I noticed was that when you spread the damage, you could have instead put it all on the energy Grumpig, take a prize, and then Dragon Roar just KOs something, you take your last prize. You would have won that way.
Yeah, maybe. I was trying not to enable Scramble Energy, and again, Scramble Energy Solid Rage would have KO'd the Dragonite at the time. This is the whole thing of not knowing the deck list. Because if I knew there was only 1 Solid Rage, then I wouldn't have had to worry about taking 70 on the turn, right? And then I could have done that, because Dragon Ball would have killed anything that was in play. But I didn't know how many were in the deck, so I was trying to take the last 2 prizes before Scramble came back online.
I can't remember if you could have quickly set up a Meganium to be a counter puncher.
Not fast enough. Because I didn't have Red Candy left at that point, so yeah, not quick enough to do it.
I was gonna say both of your Warpoint plays were like impactful. They did stuff, so I think they were probably right, just because you didn't know whether a better opportunity would come up than those. Obviously, at the end, like that was a game-winning card, but you'd have to sit on Warpoint for the entire game.
Exactly, and it's not as if you can go, oh yeah, just save it for the paralysis attack that literally never gets used, you know. So, no, I think it was fine because I did manage to do some really good stuff with both of them, but yeah, just a little unfortunate at the end, I guess, with it.
I do have a question, because this came up before, but why Cosmo Discovery here? I get wanting to run draw support with Macargo, but wouldn't Birch or TV Report be better?
Yeah, I actually kind of forgot that there's the 50-50 anti-synergy with Magcargo. So I think you're right, it would probably be... I would honestly say Bill's maintenance, or whatever that's called.
That
No,
shuffles
Bill's
the deck,
Anti-Synergy
yeah.
shuffles first.
You
Okay.
have Mary's request, however, which
That
is a
works.
guaranteed draw
Oh.
3. You don't have a stage
Okay.
2 in this deck.
Okay, here's the reason. This was originally Grumflosion. It was Typhlosion, so I wasn't playing the Marys. And at the last minute, I was like, wait, Typhlosion doesn't make sense because it just disincentivizes them from killing the fossils. I still have to discard my own fossil to attack. So I was like, cut the entire Typhlosion, put in the Dog Trio, which was the right play for sure,
Yeah.
and some other random stuff. And forgot to add the Marys back in, I guess.
Even Island Hermit would have been better than this, though.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, what would have been better?
Island Hermit.
I guess. You don't
Draw
take...
2 flip prize cards?
Flip 2 prizes, then draw 2, yeah.
I was just looking at it mathematically as draw 2.5, which is, I prefer that to 2, but you're right, with the Magcargo synergy, which, again, actually I forgot to say that, but the Magcargo was not in here originally either. That was sub for Typhlosion. So I guess it was just really not on my mind.
I'm starting to really dislike this card because it's in every fucking deck at this point, and I don't have... I have like one copy, I can't play it. It's just like, god damn it. It's in fucking every single deck that I play against, and I can't do the same thing, and it's dumb.
The Mary's request?
No! Macargo, god damn it.
1x might be okay. It's not ideal, but
Nah, unfortunately not. Not especially because it's not a Delta either, so it hasn't really synergized too well with a lot of decks I wanted
You're
to
worried about
use.
prizing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean you could say the
One
same
person,
with
one cat.
you could say the same with Electabuzz and stuff here, but at the same time it's like Buzz is a Delta, and that's easier to get out for the deck, and just getting that one draw every turn is often enough for the stuff here. So I don't know. I kind of liked it. I wanted to try more Electabuzz. There's just no way I could fit it in. It's a bit of a tight deck list as it is. I initially had like 17 basics in here when the basics were EXs and stuff. It's now at 14, which is at least a bit more respectable. But 17, and I still mulled twice in a row the first time I shuffled up the deck. Like, explain that. Come on. Unbelievable. But it's all good. No, I'm happy with the build though. Maybe, like, I do have a third of the baby Meganium, which I was considering trying to fit in, but I don't think it was necessary in the end. But no, I'm very happy with the way that it shaped up in the end though. It did pretty much what I wanted it to. Yeah, and Dragon Roar is a very good attack, go figure. I wanted to at least see that bit. Like, I wasn't playing No Deafening on that one just because of that. It genuinely was better to Dragon Roar most turns there. But it was just like, okay, yeah, no, I really want to see how this attack goes. Because we don't see this kind of thing in Pokemon, like, ever. You know, over damage is just a thing that happens. And it's like, you can do 150 and, you know, to a 10 HP Pokemon, and then the rest of it gets wasted. Not the case here. We never really see this kind of thing. So...
my knowledge
Your
is the
opponent has
only...
to Charizard your mysterious boss.
Yep.
This is the only time an effect like that has ever been printed.
Yeah, because usually if you get to do damage to multiple sources, it's like, say, put 4 damage counters on the opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like, rather than you know, being the thing for it. So yeah, I think you're right. This might be the only time I remember, at least, that this ever comes up. And so I was intensely curious, I will admit. Would it have been better if we had more? I'm not even sure. Like, yeah, maybe, but this is kind of a dead end for the Nurture and Heal, right? Because you saw I had like 7 energy on this thing at some point. It was just kind of going to waste a sec. It was just so I could heal out of your range, but when you compare it to something like the Groudon, which you need to use that for, you're actually getting benefits from Meganium's ability, whereas this just kind of stops getting that. But then maybe it's hard because like maybe it's just a better thing to be attacking with at that stage, but it's hard to justify that over a basic that does more, right? It's like, if you're not using this for Deafen, or if you're not at least trying to pierce through some problematic boards with Dragon Roar, is it not just easier to use the Groudon because all you need then is the 1 Meganium plus the Groudon down, rather than multiple like rare candies and stuff? I don't know. But I do think it was the right call to play the 1 in here. I'm just like, if I had, say, all of them that were available, would Meganium Dragonite exclusively have been the deck to play? I don't actually know. I think that might have been a harder call to make. Because that might just be too many stage 2s at that point. Maybe. I don't know. I might be like... Yeah.
This is an easy slot to cut for another 1/1.
You've also
find one more for a Dragonair. You're good
yeah, you've got to fit the Dragonair at least at that point. Yeah, like maybe a 2 count could have justified, but I don't know. I think it was fine as it was though. It wasn't ever meant to be the primary focus of the deck. It just had to be because of the matchup here. So it was cool.
So I played my deck specifically because I knew you wouldn't be here and I didn't want to put you through that. So happy birthday, man.
Thank you. Take that gift.
You know, the difference is not having to sit through annoying gameplay.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I was playing very angry crabs, so I probably would have had the gusting options to just keep knocking at the Grumpig.
Just flip heads.
It happens.
It does. Certainly does.
Oh, someone's got to tell Leo next set's got got energy in the reverse slot, so it needs replacing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Power Keepers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm also not sure what the promos are for the next set, because most of them I've looked at have just been pop series garbage that doesn't really matter whatsoever.
It's a transition period, so it's probably mostly just pop garbage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have been playing like solid rage crabs with Cessation Crystal in there, just 2 of them. So that could have been nasty for your Macargo engine.
I would have stopped the gusting too, so that's interesting, but...
True. Yeah. I feel like that... I think I would still beat you depending on reversals.
Yeah.
Like if you hit all 4 reversals, then sure, you win. Good
if
job.
he hits 2 reversals, he probably wins, because you've only got 2 Grumpig. Right?
I think that's okay. You can farmer them back, and this deck is okay being super slow.
With your 1 farmer that doesn't have like the backup of Transceiver.
Yeah, I mean it's not a problem if Smooth
And if
Over
you
is
can't
up.
get to it because I've got Cessation Crystal on.
Yeah, if you got Crystal.
Of course, Windstorm, blah blah blah, but you know you've got to draw the Windstorm first, which you know.
We get another Celebi, the Mew promo.
It's tough because like I have 12 turns to do whatever I want to do, essentially.
Bad Mew.
Pauses.
Yeah.
Evolution garbage.
There's a lot of time you could buy, but yeah, if it gets hit at like the wrong
Another
point,
Celebi, another Ho-Oh.
I don't know.
You get another Ho-Oh EX.
Come on, Cal, it's time to make it shine.
I mean, I would, but I have nothing for it. You know what? No, I don't even.
Delta
I
Polygon?
can't even. No, because it's not a Delta. It doesn't work on it. Ah,
There you
well,
go.
I don't even have on first, so I was
Give you
gonna
mine.
I was gonna make the stupid thing there of going, if chat wants to give me the Tyranitar from Delta Species to do it, because that would be a thing that you could use it on, but that would honestly be about it. That's the only real way that I could see doing it, and there is exactly one Tyranitar in the entire pool from everyone, so...
Isn't it mine?
No, it's mine.
There's one other useful promo though. Another Burning Aura type version.
Oh, yay, my sixth one. Fantastic.
That was a theme deck card?
No, but it was in Unseen Forces, and I think I pulled 3 and traded
I
for
think it's
1.
deck card actually.
Was it? Maybe
Yeah,
it
I
was.
think
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a Meganium or that. It's the Fiend decks.
I stand corrected. Okay. Shows how much I care about the some of the Fintech stuff of it then. Most of
no
the
one
time.
picked that deck. The other deck had a bunch of useful tools in it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
You already disabled or replaced the energy in this?
Yeah, we've replaced,
Replaced
don't
energy,
yeah,
yeah.
because disable would mean that you remove that card entirely, so you'll have like 8 card packs instead. Anyway, God, this is like the complete opposite of last time, where last time I didn't even get an hour's worth of stuff out. This one's probably going to be like 3, and I'm just like, oh boy. Well, if you've managed to stay this long, grats.
Content.
I
Yeah.
tried to give you a decent game last time.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's hard to beat like resistance matchup like that when yeah, stuff happens. But yeah,
I got established way too fast.
yeah, I probably this is one of the other things of like a lot of these decks are kind of hard to like play against sometimes as well, whether it's overwhelming pressure or whether it's what the hell is this scenario sort of thing, you know, where it's just like, okay, what do I do with the stuff here? I am not the best player in the world, obviously, so there's probably going to be a lot of times where I've like misplayed, whether even if it's like 5 turns earlier or something, where I probably just like misplayed something somewhere, and that's ultimately caused a loss. That, yeah, it's a learning experience, right? And it's just neat. It's neat to see some of these decks actually doing well that you've like never even heard of before, right? Because they just don't come up ever. Even the fossil type thing here, not to this extreme, I don't think. There was obviously a Politoed type thing for it, and that's cool and all. But yeah, but the Wailord deck wasn't even good though. Like, I tried it; it was terrible. So you know, this is better. Because you've got more tools available for it, really. But no, it's just like there's a lot of wacky stuff in the format that you can play. I mean, even Leo's stuff up here. This Ludicolo is very cool and definitely could be well played if it was.
The wrong shell. I talked about it last week because
Yeah.
I think it. Cause I talked about Ad Ludicolo the other week. About how it didn't really fit before. Maybe it's a bit better now with better supporters on next week, but it's not a bad deck.
So
But I do think it's the wrong shell for it though.
maybe. But yeah, no, it's just like there's a lot of interesting bits that you can go over. I mean, even this other one from you down here, right, with the whole like Porygon 2 big split sort of stuff. You just don't see things like that when you look up bits from the past. But there's plenty of scope for stuff like this to do well, and
Yeah, there's plenty of rogue.
Yeah.
Of rogue deck running around.
so
Next set's going to add even more because there's a bunch of reprints of good cards.
yeah, I mostly just hope that this is gonna stay true going into Gen 4 stuff as well, because I don't know with the way some of the power level goes on it. We will have to see. But anyway, that is for another time. Like I said, if you've managed to stay this long, congrats. I do not have a cookie for you, but you can find one very close, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the next set. As we're saying, Power Keepers, big reprint stuff in there as well. We'll have to just see how good it is. So